Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Hard sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Hard sports all plays.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Unscripted, where it's going to be me, my boy Pride. What's up, Pride?
What it do, baby, as the church say in the streets. What it do, baby.
It do a plenty. And my boy Chris Gonzales, what it be?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How's it going?
Doing well. And my boy down there in LA, not to be confused with lost assholes, as I like to refer to them as. I'm just kidding, Jonathan. I'm just kidding. I love you. My boy Jonathan Mathis, what is it doing?
What a do? What's up, fellas? How's everyone doing on this panel today?
Chilling.
I'm doing good. I am doing excellent. And I think tonight we'll see, because I got ground to make up. And you got ground to make up too, Jonathan, down there in LA, man. As you know, like I said before, and I don't think anybody got to take issue with it, that the theme of this show is Go Mets. Go Mets, go Mets. Burn, Yankees, burn. Because we need to move up the rankings. I'm just saying, that is the theme of this show. If the Yankee is not here, I can say what I want. Go Mets.
You love to see it.
There's a lot of stuff popping off in sports right now.
Yeah, there is. We're going to get into some of that. Matter of fact, we're going to start at the top. Let's talk about Julio Jones for a minute. You know he signed that 1 year deal. I don't know how much. I've been trying to find out exactly the nominal amount. I couldn't find it anywhere, so I don't know what's going on with that. But it's a 1 year. He's 33 years old. He's going to team up. I guess give Godwin some breathing room so he doesn't have to rush back, I guess, off that injury that he had. But, man, can Julio actually make a damn difference? Why?
I think so. I think this is a situation where it's going to benefit both teams. It's going to benefit both parties, right? So it's going to benefit Julio Jones and the fact that he's going to get touches. Granted, it won't be as much, but where Julio Jones is in his career, he's not prime Julio anymore, right? Like, it's weird, right? We can go ahead and say that Julio Jones ain't the same guy, but heaven forbid we say anything about Russell Westbrook. All of a sudden, we're treacherous pieces of garbage, right? It's insane to me, the inconsistency and the hypocrisy. Speaking of hypocrisy, Rob Scott, how you doing, my boy? I promise I will let you rebuttal to defend your good name, but please, I got a lot of hurt and pain in my heart right now because Randy has been going nuts on me. Speaking to existence. Yo, but Rob, you here. You unfortunately caught in a crossfire, bro. You unfortunately is caught, bro, because he's trying to speak into existence, and I'm sad, and I'm scared. But
you scared to get KD?
That's another topic. Trust me, I'm gonna go on my soliloquy there in a minute. I promise. But I will say this.
Oh, don't talk about KD yet. There's a whole topic towards the end of the show where we're talking about KD. So we'll get some KD in there.
Yep. So I'm gonna wait. But I think it's a situation that's gonna benefit both teams. Julio can still perform. The only problem is that he just can't stay healthy enough. You can't put too much of a workload on him. I see a situation where they honestly use him basically how they use Gronk. They're only going to have certain plays because Julio can still win jump balls. He can still go out there and dominate. He can still run routes. The only issue really is his health. And the best way to counteract that, just kind of give him certain spots here and there. I think that's really what they're going to do with him. You pretty much have a pretty respectable offense already. So adding Julio on a cheap 1 year deal, I like it. It gives in terms of, more physicality. Now you got two guys you got to worry about jump balls at the minimum, at the absolute minimum, right? So, and now if you look at Julio, he's still going to be able to get his stats, all that stuff. He'll probably end up getting a Super Bowl ring because let's be honest, he's always wanted to play with Tom Brady, so that kind of checks off something else in him. So I think it's a situation that kind of benefits both parties. For Julio, he has the chance to play with Tom, who he's been on record saying he's always wanted to play with. It gives him the best chance of getting a Super Bowl while still contributing to it. And while he contributes, it's not like he's got to go out there and average 100 yards a game or 95 yards a game. He'll probably get between 5 to 7 targets. And of those targets, he'll probably get somewhere in the range of 30 to 50 yards with a touchdown. He's really just going to be a threat where he can jump up, mostly in the red zone. That's probably where they're going to look for him more, right? And then if you look over on Tampa's side, well, shoot. Now you give Chris Godwin a little more of a buffer because he's coming off his ACL. Yeah. Now, instead of him having to worry, all right, I got to go, Chris Godwin is going to be able to actually take his time and ease into things. Combine that with the fact that they lost Rob Gronkowski and they lost, what's that tight end? OJ. They traded him, if I'm mistaken. I think they either traded him or he left in the offseason. But, and you get Kyle Rudolph. Woo! Who gives a flying fadoodle stick about that one? But I think it gives you another guy that you can depend on. You just can't overly depend on him. That's the only stipulation with it. Yeah, you got to understand Julio ain't the same, and it's okay for him not to be the same. You just got to put him in situations you'll know he will succeed. I'm stuttering like crazy, bro. That's how shook up Randy got me right now, bro. He got me pressed. But put him in a situation where he won't, there's less of a chance of him getting injured. So I think it's solid. Plus, 1-year deal. It's a cheap deal.
Boy, it's a ring. It's a ring.
That's what it is.
It's a ring.
That's what it is. And as long as he contributes, we're gonna look at him the same way we looked at Gronk. Like, Gronk didn't dominate, but when you needed him, he showed up. He showed up.
And that's the thing, right? I mean, you see him kind of being like Odell Beckham was with the Rams.
I was going to say, same as OBJ last year.
Perfect. Like Antonio Brown was when they did get the first ring. Just that guy, like you said, he doesn't have to, because let's be honest, if you look at his last 2 seasons, like you said, Pride, they got to be careful because he's been injured last 2. Matter of fact, last season, he only played 10 games, got your 434 yards, a touch, and 31. So he's not going to be that, like you say, not that guy to get all the, but if he's just there, like you said, just take a little pressure off or, get those 1 or 2 plays. Like I said, that's probably what they're really looking for.
Right.
It's a ring. I just want people to know.
Rob. Hey, big shot, Rob. $1.25 in the house.
That's a blessing.
How's it doing?
How y'all feeling, man? How my brothers doing?
I'm sad. I'm depressed. I'm hurt, and I'm in pain.
I'm wonderful. I'll be better if the Dodgers could get a win tonight.
Man, the Dodgers, bro. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna hold on.
Oh,
let me say one thing. Jonathan, you really think John Lackey don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know. That's a weak class to me.
You didn't answer the question. I'm not talking about the class, all right?
No, I don't think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Why? You think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame?
Smoking pure herbs. 1,000%. Not only does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, yes, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't give a flying fadoodle stick. Just because the class, listen, the class is weak. The class is weak.
Hey, listen, Jonathan.
Hashtag
he deserves it.
Hashtag my fadoodle stick.
Hey, if Brian is telling you to smoke herb, that's not bad. That's actually pretty decent. Now, when he goes to the uneducated, that's when you know you're just straight bugging.
No, because I see the class and I get his point. The class is not as strong as we've been spoiled the past few years. So he is right. We've been spoiled the past few years where we're looking at some this is a no-brainer type of Hall of Fame situation.
Exactly.
But the problem is, yes, it's a weak class, but just because it's a weak class, does that mean that it diminishes John Lackey's resume at all? I don't think so. I don't think it's fair to.
Is like if there were, the big name stars, John Lackey's at the very bottom. We're not talking about John Lackey. I think that's kind of where it's coming from. It's kind of like, you got a middle run guy who's getting the Hall of Fame, and he's better than the other, Joe Schmuck guys getting in. But still, it's still Hall of Fame. So you got to give John Lackey his credit. You got to give John Lackey his due. I like, the guy he was good. So
just for that, I hope Mike Napoli makes the Hall of Fame first ballot just to piss off Jonathan. Let's get Mike Napoli in there. He's got my vote. First
And
ballot.
you know, it's hard to believe that some people actually believe he deserves to be a Hall of Famer.
I mean, my thing is, I get why people believe it. I understand, because there's two ways you can really make the MLB Hall of Fame, right? It's either stats or you just happen to be on a really good team.
Yeah, that's true.
And
I'll give you that.
you know what I mean? And Mike Napoli was on that Boston team that won, I think it was 2013. Somebody fact check me. That we won the World Series.
I believe in that one.
Yeah, and he was productive. He was productive, so I get why. Me personally, he's not in the Hall of Fame for me. In my opinion, of the entire class, maybe K-Rod, maybe
That's what
perhaps.
people are saying. People are saying K-Rod might get in.
I think perhaps, but in my opinion, of all, John Lackey is without a shadow of a doubt a surefire Hall of Famer, no debate. Outside of him, maybe K-Rod. Like I said, let's put in Mike. Let's piss some people off throwing Mike Napoli, right? You feel me? Let's take out Derek Jeter, put in Mike Napoli, and I'll be able to sleep well at night.
You know who else is surefire Hall of Famer?
Educated, Rob.
Hey, you know who else is surefire Hall of Famer?
I'm gonna leave. I know what he gonna say.
I'm not gonna say Kevin Durant.
Oh, I thought you were gonna hurt my heart.
I was gonna go back up to the subject of Tom Brady, and you gave this surefire Hall of Famer a great receiver in Julio Jones. It's something about playing with a great quarterback that revitalizes your career. And I think Julio is about to turn back the hands of time. I think he's gonna have a hell of a year. Playing with Tom Brady and having Chris Godwin, having Mike Evans, having Cal Rudolph. Oh my God! Should I continue? If we can get playoff Lenny, if we can get playoff Lenny to lose weight, oh, we got something there.
No, let him keep the weight. Let him keep the weight. Let him keep the weight. He'll be our Eddie Lacy. He went in spite of him. But
I just want everybody to hear it now. I have been screaming that the Bucks are gonna win this year, so I'm with you. The Bucks are winning it. Yeah, I've been saying the same thing. I just want people to hear it now. I don't want to hear later. All right, switch up a team. Oh my God, they have a dashery.
I love when Rob says haberdashery. It makes my day. My heart is slowly repairing every time he says haberdashery.
You're the Bucks. Hey, Rob. You're on the Bucks, man. With the Bucks, you're probably on the Bucks with the Bucks winning. So we got you.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Julio Jones. I know you wanted him in Indianapolis, probably to help out Matt Ryan, team back up, relive the old days. Ain't happening. What do you think about Julio with the Bucks?
I don't like it. just because.
You love it. You love it.
Personal reasons. But
right.
You know, Chris hates Tom Brady.
You're right.
Well, not just that. I wanted Julio in Indy with Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
He does. He didn't even try to escape it. He was like, "No, it's not that." He goes, "Well, not just that. Obviously."
Oh yeah, I don't like Tom Brady. Hey, I respect Tom Brady as a player, but I don't like Tom Brady. He kept the Colts out of a lot of fucking Super Bowls.
With his face. Say he'll punch him.
But with Julio, honestly, I think Tampa's a better fit than what Indy was. Because, like Pride was saying, Julio's not a number one no more. He can be he can go somewhere, be a 2 or a 3, and he'll fit in perfect. With the Colts, we was going to need him to be a number one because we don't have a number one really.
I don't think he could have handled that role though. With Chris, you probably lucked out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think Tampa's a better fit for him because of that, because he can be the third option. He don't have to be that number one option.
Oh, for sure. That was a calculated move. I mean, Julio looked at the landscape. He understands he's getting to that time in his career where it's like, okay, I've made the money I'm going to make. I've done everything but win a championship. And when you start to get to that level in your career, you start to think about the Hall of Fame. At least the great players do. So now you like, where's my spot at? When they start talking about, greatest receivers of all time, or they start talking these top 10, top 15 lists, where do I fall at? And so Julio Jones is like, okay, I know right now I have a rare opportunity to play with a motivated Tom Brady.
Say that one more time.
He has a rare opportunity to play with a motivated Tom Brady.
God, ain't that scary?
It's scary.
Xander, relax, all right? Because I'll put pause on you. Hurt? Put pause on you, little homie. Yeah, I had to check my I try to check my son and he just screams in defiance.
Hey, Maddie heard that and she came up to the computer.
She like, hey yo, let's get it.
This a kid show? Okay.
She's like, what up?
All you was about to hear is Cocomelon.
Oh my days. I'm tired of that song, bro.
Hey, if y'all haven't heard, y'all need to go listen to Gracie's Corner.
But if Julio can stay healthy, I think he's going to have a good year in Tampa because he can be that third option, and they got so many weapons that somebody's going to be open.
And becomes their Antonio Brown. He is really there to fill that void. That is what he's there for.
Well, but honestly, I think it's different than Antonio Brown. The reason why I compare it more to Rob Gronkowski was Antonio Brown went there to rehab his reputation. It's not that he was an injury-prone dude. It was how he left the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then when he went to Oakland, and he didn't even play a game for them. So he really went there because it was more of I need to make sure my reputation looks good. And then he ended up falling in place, and he was like, well, if I'm going to play this role for anyone, it's going to be for Tom. I think with Julio, it's a situation where his body, unfortunately, can't handle that workload that he's been accustomed to. You know what I mean? So that's why I compare it more to Rob Gronkowski, because Rob Gronkowski, when he went, remember, he retired because he was getting hurt too much.
Yeah, his body was banged up.
Exactly. He was getting hurt too much, and he couldn't keep up with it anymore. So that's why I compare the entire Julio Jones situation a little more to Rob Gronkowski, because I think it's just the injury aspect that you can still play, but the problem for me is you can't play for long. You see what I'm saying? It's if I could parlay this to baseball, it's kind of like the whole Jacob DeGrom. No, Chris Sale, we gotta cut him. We gotta cut him because this man. Change the subject.
But only reason I compare him to the Antonio Brown situation. I see what you're saying, comparing to Gronkowski in narrative, but I'm talking about just skill set. You now have a receiver that has filled the void that was left by Antonio Brown.
So you're basically saying like you're saying it's more comparable to AJ Brown because your number 3 receiver is basically a number 1 on every other team in the NFL. I see what you're saying.
And if you look at it, had the Buccaneers had Antonio Brown, who's to say that they wouldn't have beat the Rams?
I mean that's a legitimate argument. I'm gonna keep it a buck. That's a legitimate argument.
You know, so now I
don't like hypotheticals. I really don't like them because you never know.
But you look at the way that they came back, and you look at like that when that Buccaneers fight, when that offensive powerhouse of an offense gets the rolling, they get the rolling. Bless you. So now you're thinking about okay, I've replaced Antonio Brown with Julio Jones now, and now you know, even though Kyle Rudolph is nowhere near what Rob Gronkowski is, you have a reliable tight end, and all Tom Brady needs is a reliable tight end. And I like the way that this offensive juggernaut is looking.
I'll be honest, when it comes to Kyle Rudolph, I am like Joe Rogan is like a very popular podcast. I'm closer to Joe Rogan than Kyle Rudolph will ever be in his wildest dreams to Rob Gronkowski, and I mean that with all due respect.
Hey, nobody will ever compare Kyle Rudolph to the GOAT.
No, I just want to make sure because I don't know where Matt there's gonna be a
nobody
Kyle Rudolph
will ever
fan.
compare Kyle Rudolph to the GOAT tight end.
I'm just saying there's gonna be a Kyle Rudolph fan coming out the cup. Yo, bro, remember when he was in Minnesota? Yeah, he was a role player. Get him out of here. Coach.
Yeah, he was. Like people don't understand. This is how great Rob Gronkowski is. When you have other tight ends that have pride saying, yeah, that's the GOAT.
Well,
like Shannon Sharp says it with no problem. Like Rob Gronkowski is the GOAT.
Well,
and he's the most prideful man on the TV.
What makes Gronkowski the GOAT is his, not just his receiving, is his blocking.
Oh
it's also his commercials that are pretty comical as well.
He's something different. Like I've never seen a dude that big.
He's gonna be a great actor. He's got a great second career behind him.
But he was scared. But he was scared to jump off a little platform at WrestleMania.
And Vince did it.
Vince had to do it.
Vince did it.
And the best part about the video is that
he didn't want to hurt his chances or doom his NFL career by making one bad mistake.
like the thing is, the funny part about the video is that he lands. Vince looks up and goes, "See, seriously," and I'm just like, yo, Rob, you gotta jump. You can't let a 98-year-old man punk you up like that, bro. Like you gotta jump now.
They asked Vince McMahon how old you are. He just says prehistoric.
And John, we made that point too. Where we made that point because now when Chris Godwin comes back, there's no pressure for him to be the same.
And you still have Mike Evans too.
Exactly. That's what. So
it's crazy.
You got a situation where Mike Evans could go catchless, and they could still win by 2 touchdowns. Let this sink in. Yeah, Mike Evans, he can go catchless. And they still win by 2 touchdowns.
And let's not shout out to Danny Amendola. I believe he officially retired.
Yeah, he retired.
So, but think about this. Tom Brady turned those names into household names. Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola, Wes Welker. Like, come on now.
Yeah, he turned middling receivers into elite.
Into household names.
Right. And by the way, I ain't gonna let you disrespect Julian Edelman like that. So
I love Julian Edelman.
So. Wes Welker, he left a piece of shit. So you can disrespect him. Danny Amendola, you can disrespect him.
You know what? Julian Edelman created his legend when he made that spectacular catch. What, he catch it off the man's thigh? I'm like, man, that is crazy.
See, when that happened, I'm not even gonna lie. When I saw that, I was like, this is where we can't now say that Julian Edelman, because the only people who know this are legitimate Patriots fans. That is not the first wild style catch this man has made.
No, it's not. No, it was not.
That was the best. I will give you that. It was the best because it was the most difficult and it was in the Super Bowl. I'll give you that. It was the best. But, bro, my guy been doing this since
I think he caught one off somebody's back before.
Yes.
Like he literally.
Yes.
I remember
this. Matter of fact, Julian Edelman, come back here so I can put you in the top 10 of wide receivers. Your top 10 wide receiver. What up?
No, hey, Jonathan Mathis, what you think about the Julio Jones, man?
Well, it's a 1-year deal. I think it's a great signing. Julio Jones was one of the most dangerous offensive weapons when he was in his prime. Mm-hmm. I know he's a bit slower now. Age and injuries, have slowed him in recent seasons. But hey, he's playing with Tom Brady now. And he's pairing up with one of the best receivers in the NFL and the Bucs leading receiver, which is Chris Godwin. So Tom Brady has all the weapons at his disposal now. And like Pride said, he's gone on record to say he wanted to play with Tom Brady. And now he got his wish. He is going to play with Tom Brady. And now he has a chance to win the Super Bowl.
And not to mention, Tom wanted to play with him. Remember, Tom tweeted out to Julio, "Hey, we got a spot open for you, bro."
It was vice versa. Yep.
We can almost envision who that go-to guy is gonna be, and that's no disrespect to Mike Evans. That's no disrespect to Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
But now with Julio Jones in the mix, that takes all the attention off of guys like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and now. That creates problems for the rest of the league. That creates problems for opposing defenses on trying to find a way how to stop and slow down this Buccaneers team. But this Buccaneers team is offensively loaded with star power.
They lost a little bit of step there, and maybe he's not burning out these other quarterbacks.
I think he lost. I think he lost a bit of a step, but I still think he has a lot of game left in him. And with Tom Brady can deliver the football to him, and Julio Jones can still create and be that electrifying wide receiver that we've seen. I don't know if he's going to be as great as he was with the Falcons, because back then he was in his prime. He was more healthy. He was younger, but with age, he can still do his thing. And Tom Brady is going to definitely help him have a resurgent year.
And can you imagine the goal line package set with Julio Jones and Mike Evans? That's gonna be
disgusting.
That is gonna be
think about this.
Deadly.
Think about this. You got Mike Evans and him who can get jump balls, and guess who you got running a cute little flat, or you got a 2-and-in.
There you go,
boy.
And then you still got playoff Lenny in the backfield. And
what
then, and while you guys are covering all the receivers, that's
Tom Brady gonna
Kyle
run.
Rudolph can hit him right up the middle.
Relax. Kyle Rudolph.
That's the Super Bowl team.
I'm putting it right there. Kyle Rudolph doesn't get more than 3 touchdowns this year.
I doubt that.
Don't you think that their defense though may be a little soft? That could be their Achilles. I mean,
well, I don't think so because you lose Ndamukong Suh, but then you get my boy from the Bears. So I mean, I don't think that they didn't lose that much.
And on top of that, with how high powered their offense is, you don't have to be a shutdown. Like I just think that we're accustomed to like teams kind of being sort of stacked, right? Where like you look at Seattle, right, where they had the Legion of Boom, right? Their offense kind of didn't really match their defense, and some people would believe that the defense was more impressive. If you're a middle of the road defensive team with how stacked that offense is, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah,
I mean, think about it. All the names in the world.
Akeem Hicks, that was his name.
Yeah,
but they got Akeem Hicks, man. I think you lose Suh.
I think they'll
get Hicks. I still think they're good.
Yeah, I think they're solid. I don't think that's a problem. Because remember, with all the star-studded names and the cute names everyone wanted, guess who wasn't the best defensive team in the NFL?
Yeah.
The Rams, who won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think they were just outside top 10.
Yeah.
They were kind of like a middle-ish type of situation, right?
And still remember that defense, this is the same defense that when the Rams went up, they didn't score anymore. Except for that last play with Cooper Kupp.
Right.
They let him go up the middle. That was it. But other than that, they stopped them in the fourth quarter, which allowed Tom Brady to make that comeback. So that defense ain't as bad as people think.
Right. And that secondary was better than a lot of people thought as well.
Yeah.
So, got to give a lot of credit to their defense as well.
And most of the time, if you have Tom Brady on offense, you don't need a top defense. You just need a middle of the pack defense.
Exactly.
And you'll be good.
Because Tom Brady's gonna milk the clock. Like he understands.
And thank you, Pride. I was about to say that. He's gonna milk the clock. Remember, he's gonna dink and dunk. Like, he's gonna kill you with time and possession.
He'll make sure that. And if he's not doing that, guess what he's gonna do? He'll hand the ball off.
And that's the kind of quarterback he is, right?
Pride, I hate agreeing with you.
All right, Tom Brady
man,
said no one ever. Said no one ever. Let me relax.
Hey, let's talk about these 49ers. For a minute, man. They might came out and say we're moving on from Jimmy. Trey's our guy.
Yep.
Jimmy G's still with the team because he went through that shoulder surgery. But as soon as he's clear through, through physicals, they're gonna drop him, and then either drop him or trade him. I think most likely they're gonna want to drop him. I don't know if anybody's really gonna take Jimmy off, but either way, Jimmy's out, Trey's in. Man, I don't know. I guess they believe that Trey can carry the team. What do you guys think, Pride?
I don't know,
bro.
Man.
No, look.
I don't know.
Y'all already know how I feel about Trey Lance.
I think they're making a big mistake.
Yeah.
They're making a massive mistake, but they have no choice. Think about it.
Yep.
You've been saying you've been unhappy with this guy for 3 years, and for the past 2 years, you've been trying to trade him. You then moved up to trade for a kid that nobody wanted. I'm gonna say this one more time for the people in the back. That nobody wanted. A kid who you know nothing about because he skipped his COVID year. So you drafted him and he didn't play for a full year. You then tell everyone, this is the guy we got. And we don't care. We don't want Jimmy G. And guess who started that year? Who started the entire year?
Jimmy G.
What does that tell you?
That Jimmy G is the man.
He's better than Trey Lance.
You know what? I'm gonna come out here and say it. And you're gonna hear it right here live on Unscripted from Rob Stu 6. They tried to recapture the magic they had with Kaepernick, and they thought Trey Lance was it. And he ain't it. That's what they wanted. They wanted to recapture that Kaepernick magic.
Rob, can I one up you?
Go ahead, brother Prime.
I'm gonna one up you. This move is from a pussy organization who's scared to publicly apologize for abandoning the man that they were hoping and praying they could build their franchise around.
The ghost of Colin Kaepernick is coming back to bite him right in the ass.
Listen, I don't care what anyone says. This is their way of apologizing because they turned their back on Colin Kaepernick when this man solo dolo was the sole reason. I don't care what anybody says because when Alex Smith left, he had virtually the same team and where they went. Super Bowl. And I'm not even a fan. I'm not even a fan of Colin Kaepernick like that. I am not a Colin Kaepernick.
I just call it like I see it.
100%. Johnson says Garoppolo signed a 5-year. Listen, that contract is stupid. It's stupid, right? They're telling you. Listen, here's the thing: Jimmy Garoppolo is not getting traded. He's not getting traded. And you want to know why he's not getting traded?
Ooh, that's a lot of money.
Do you want to know why he's not going to get traded? the San Francisco 49ers are scared out of their minds because they know we messed up. We could have had Justin Fields. We could have had Mac Jones. We could have had something better than a kid who was too scared to play. And not because of his COVID year, because he sucked. And he was scared to get exposed. That's why he held out.
Are you saying Trey Lance, Ben Simmons, though?
It's no.
Worse than that.
No, first of all, Ben Simmons can play. Ben Simmons can play. Let's get that out the way. Ben Simmons can play.
No, Ben Simmons can play. He can play.
And here's my thing. If you're
He's
so confident,
no, he's just missing a jump shot.
If you're so confident,
he's an all-star.
That this kid in Trey Lance could play. Here's the $1 million question that no 49er fan has been able to answer for me.
Why y'all ain't playing?
If you're so confident your franchise quarterback, why were the 49ers treating him the same way the Saints treat Taysom Hill?
Or the same way that the Green Bay Packers treated Jordan Love.
Oh my days. Oh my days. What this is, what Kyle Shanahan said.
Yes,
Lord. What he said was, we appreciate Jimmy G, what he's done. We're moving on to Trey Lance. And if he wasn't injured or if he didn't get surgery, we would have traded Jimmy G. Here's the
you
problem.
Call my man Kwame Brown, John.
Oh man!
Now that you see that Jimmy's out and Trey's in, I bet you who now has San Francisco at number 2 in that division. You know, Cardinals now got to move up to number 2, right?
I don't think so. I don't think if you got Trey Lance, they're not going over 500. They're not going over 500.
Wow.
They're not going over 500. They're not going over 500.
Hot take by pride.
Bro, I don't care. I don't care. It's not even a hot take, bro. It's not even, my top 10 wide receiver list. That's gonna be a hot take. That one's hot. But this ain't
the
hot
top
at all,
10 wide receiver list, Lord.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you this right now, bro. This is probably my most room temperature take I'm gonna have, bro. Trey Lance is not good at all. The problem is everyone is infatuated with the Lamar Jackson style with a run. They saw that Trey Lance could run, and they were like, "Hey, throw the ball." He goes, "Throw." What does that mean?
I don't know.
That's listen. This kid is gonna get exploited. He's going to get destroyed. He's gonna get riggedy wrecked. And after all that happens, guess what they're gonna do?
Kid and play? I mean, what's my man's name?
Who?
Chris Cross. Riggedy.
No, I got that from Rick and Morty.
The Niners drafted this guy because they like to pound the football.
Oh, hold on. Quick question. Wait, start that sentence over.
They like to pound the football.
No. At the beginning, you said something about drafting.
Yeah, they drafted this guy.
Yeah, they drafted this cat.
It doesn't matter why they drafted him. The kid is still a bona fide, without a shadow of a doubt, bum. Can you smell the facts that are cooking? Because I'm telling you, in 2 years, when this kid gets cut, I'm going to be here laughing. And you want to know why? And you want to know what's going to be the funny part about the entire thing? And after this, Chris, you can go. You ready to hear what the funniest part about the entire situation is? They're not going to trade Jimmy G. Week 4, week 5, they're going to beg, grovel, and apologize and look stupid beyond remorse. They're going to look dumber than me. They're going to look dumber than me. They're going to look dumber when by week 6, I promise you, Jimmy G's starting. Jimmy G's going to go back to starting. Trey Lance is going to be sitting there looking like a fool. And I promise you, you're going to hear stuff that the Niners are going to want to extend Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm telling you that's what's going to happen. That's how dumb this organization is going to be. And guess what Jimmy G is going to do? Guess what he's going to do? Guess. His stupid ass going to resign. The 49ers, they're going to throw more money at him to try to make him stay because they're going to panic. And after that, guess what? The cycle continues. Because guess what they're going to do next year? Spencer Rattler. Hey, yo, homie, you try to get on over here? It's going to be the vicious cycle. The vicious cycle where they re-sign Jimmy G for another 4 years. And in this same draft, they're going to try to trade his replacement. And guess what they're going to end up doing? They're either going to be they're going to reach again and go get some buckaroo kid out of Iowa. Right? I can't even say Iowa because isn't that where Josh Allen came from? So I can't say Iowa anymore. Right? Wyoming. I can't say that. Or UConn. Oh, he came from Wyoming? Back and say Iowa. They're gonna get some no-name Chad from Iowa who can't throw the ball, has nothing at all, right? They're gonna end up getting him, And then either A, he's going to blow up and be great, but they're not going to be able to afford him because they paid everybody else already, so they're going to watch that poor kid walk. Or they're going to waste another draft pick trying to get a quarterback that they reached on, and guess what's going to happen? In a couple games, Jimmy G is going to be starting again. And again, the cycle of stupidity, borderline incompetence, dare I say insanity. The instant they got Jimmy G, they've been trying to trade him. They draft his replacement, and we're scared to play him. We don't want him to get hurt. Wait, time out. You draft his replacement. His job is to replace. That's his job. His job is to replace. But they don't want to do that. Why? Because the kid just is not good. That's it. He's just not good. Outside of running fast, this kid brings nothing to the table. And when his irrelevant scrub ass gets put back on the bench, I'm going to be keying it up. And then when the kid gets cut, matter of fact, when Jimmy G gets extended, holla at me. When Jimmy G gets extended, come holla at me. And I'll have a conversation with every 49ers that wants to smoke. I'm sorry, Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
Chris.
No, I agree with Pride. I think they're making a huge mistake. If Trey Lance is their quarterback all season, they're going to finish like 8-9, 7-10, something like that. They're not
even 8-9.
They're not going to be very good. If they do trade Garoppolo, they're making a big mistake, in my opinion. They need to keep Garoppolo and just admit, hey, we made a mistake. They could have waited to the second round and got Trey Lance. Nobody was going to take Trey Lance. Was in a big hurry to get Trey Lance in that first round because of all the unknowns. And then when you move up to third or fourth pick to take them, you have to play them now because they don't want to admit they made a mistake.
Right.
And I think this mistake could end up costing Lynch and Shanahan their jobs. I really do. I think.
I agree with everyone on this panel. This would be a colossal mistake if they trade Jimmy G. They better keep this guy on this team. I understand that a lot of people feel he's a game manager. He gets that label of a game manager. I get all of that, but he's better than Trey Lance. And at the moment, you want to stay with Jimmy G. You want him to be your quarterback in the future. See, even Maddie says so. She even knows, and she's only 1 year old, and she knows that Jimmy G is a better situation for the 49ers. So I think the 49ers would be making a terrible mistake by not keeping Jimmy G at the quarterback position. He has held it down this long. You might as well stay with what you have. And I don't think John Lynch is that much of a fool to make that type of decision. At least I hope not.
Oh, he is, because he's one of the people been trying to spearhead this anti-Jimmy G foolishness.
It's crazy. You could say Jimmy G's not accurate. You could say he makes some bad decisions. But there's one thing you can also say. When he plays, the 49ers win games. When Shanahan hasn't had Jimmy G, he hasn't won many games there in San Francisco.
And by the way, was it some of those games? Didn't Trey Lance have to play some of those games because Jimmy G was hurt? Womp womp. Womp womp. Womp womp. Womp womp. Womp womp.
Deebo Samuel is the staple for that offense.
Do you guys think that anybody would have drafted Trey Lance in the first round?
No.
If the 49ers wouldn't have drafted him?
No.
I don't either. You could have got him.
He probably would have sat around in the green room.
He doesn't get
wondering
drafted,
when his name would get called.
No, he doesn't get drafted, period.
That's why I feel like the San Francisco 49ers really wasted picks on him. And they wasted some good picks.
Did. And it's a number 3 overall pick. 3. And we need to start, we need to start giving the 49ers some crap for this too. Because we made all the memes about how the Packers traded up to get Jordan Love. At least they were outside the top 20. It was like 28th or something like that that they
think
yeah,
24 or 24. Yeah. It was in the 20s. At least they did that. They didn't give up too much. Look what the Niners did. Look what the Niners did. At the bare minimum, at least they were like, you know what, kid? You're the backup. It is what it is. Sorry, Jordan Love, but you're the backup. At least they started to admit that. They're still trying to pretend that Trey Lance is a starter when they're playing him like, oh yeah, hey kid, we're gonna line you up a halfback, and then tight end. Let's put you in receiver. It's not a wildcat though. You're running a legitimate route, kid. And actually, no block. Wait, are we supposed to have a quarterback in the future block? We'll figure it out. By the way, remember when I told you we're gonna start? I lied. We're gonna start the guy that we want to get rid of over you, that we've been trying to get rid of since the day before he signed his contract. I'm just glad my organization ain't that stupid. I'm glad.
Yeah, no, I agree. And again, hey, even as a Cowboys fan, I mean, again, Jerry might make some questionable decisions, but I don't think he's ever done anything quite this bad like what the Niners are doing. So it's pretty bad. Real quick, so Joe Burrow.
No, hey Jay, you are right. Sorry to cut you off, but you are right because Jerry Jones actually values his draft picks, and he's gonna ride that thing out to the end.
Oh yeah, I know. Hey, listen, you're not right. That is not a lie at all. But no, hey, Burrow gets the appendix taken out. Now that's not gonna have too much effect on him. Everybody gets the appendix taken out, but it will delay his onset for training camp. I don't really see anything big with this. You guys see anything big with Burrow's appendix? That's gonna have any issues? I don't think it's gonna have any issues.
He was gonna go light as hell in training camp anyway. He's our franchise quarterback and everything. You know what I mean? They were gonna go easy with him, right? They were gonna, you know what I mean? And on top of that, they just came off a Super Bowl, right? So I don't think it's nothing crazy, nothing legitimate at all. You know what I mean? Unless there's complications with that surgery. But
this is about a 2-week deal, and you're good. You can do what you got to do. So the first week, like I said, no contact. So he misses 1 week of contact drills in his back end. Now he can still.
He's a quarterback. They don't do contact drills. They don't do contact drills.
That's right. Well,
so
you're right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it literally doesn't matter for him.
But for him, he can still take that playbook while he's in the hospital, but he ain't got nothing better to do.
Exactly. Right. So he'll be able to do that. So if they want to add new plays, try to make something a little more complicated, and during that week that he's not doing it, he'll be able to just crack open.
Hey, he can still watch game film. He can do all kinds of stuff on those tablets.
Right. Unless your name is Kyler Murray, because apparently he doesn't like to watch film. Was that shot fired? I'm sorry.
I love that. You actually have to make this guy
study. I was wondering if we was gonna get to that topic.
Hey, I'm just saying you cannot come out on national TV as a quarterback, as a black quarterback at that, when you already know we have a stigma against us of not being able to do the job correctly, and say, no, I don't like to watch film. I just think I got everything down packed. And look, dude, even all the greats watch film. And being a person in that position, it's like, dude, you have to know every check down, you have to know every audible, you have to know everything, dude. You have to know things that other players don't need to know.
Dude, they put a study clause in his contract.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's nonsense.
Have you not seen Peyton Manning, who used to scream Omaha, and his Omaha can mean 4
in
different
his audibles?
things?
Yeah.
He can yell Omaha, and it can mean 4 different things.
Right.
Like,
can I hold on. Can we pump the brakes on this narrative? Can we pump the brakes on it? Question: does anyone know exactly what he said? All right. So before y'all start killing him,
I'm sorry. I was on mute. What he exactly said was
what he said.
He said that he can read the plays basically off instinct.
Hold on. But what was part 2?
I didn't see the part 2 part.
Thank you. So again, you're killing him when you don't know what you're talking about.
But I'm killing him for what
he said.
Clause that was put in there. You shouldn't have to have a clause.
Is that his fault?
As a professional athlete, if the organization is necessary to put that in your contract, that just sets a really embarrassing tone for how they view you taking your craft.
And guess what? No, because here's the thing. In my opinion, that means absolutely nothing.
Yes, we have a subject me and Pride don't agree on.
But I'm just saying, listen, you gotta understand. They put that in there. Do you want to know why they put that in there? Do you want to know why the real reason they probably put that in there?
Because he doesn't do it.
No, because Cliff Kingsbury is probably going to get fired, and in the midst of him getting fired, they're probably going to bring in a new head coach that's going to completely change everything. So instead of the college style that he's accustomed to, they're going to be a more complex style, and it's going to happen during his contract, and they're going to want to make sure that, all right, look, there's going to be a crazy spike, so don't get complacent on us. That's all it was.
Nah, dude.
That's all it was.
Nah, dude.
Go look at every single contract, and there is something along the lines.
I'm just saying, this man didn't even know if he wanted to play MLB or NFL. That's all I'm saying.
And guess what? I wouldn't either. If I was blessed enough to play both, and both of them were throwing blank checks, bras, and part ownership, I wouldn't know either.
Did do what my boy did, Deion Primetime Sanders, and just do both.
He was so good. He was on the bench. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Look,
he would have actually
let me actually read y'all the full quote, because this is like I think the situation.
Do you know the full quote?
Yes. I'm gonna spit it out to you. I'm gonna spit it out to you, fam.
Spit that hot fire, young Diamond.
I get upset because I just think it's easy for people to hate on Kyler Murray right now. I think it's just easy, right? So people want to compile it. This is what he said. Quote, I think I was blessed with the cognitive skill to just go out there and see it before it happens. By the way, you know who else said that, Rob? Your boy Justin Fields. He said that 2 weeks in and you defended him, but I digress. This is the second part of the quote. This is the second part of the quote. I'm not one of those guys that's going to sit there and kill myself watching film. Yeah, I don't sit there 24 hours and break down this and that team and watch every game because in my head I see so much. What he's saying is I watch film.
What he's saying
I don't go over the top.
After I get bored with watching film, I go.
Hold on. What'd you say? Hold on. In order for you to get bored of something, you have to do it, correct?
I'm not saying he doesn't do it. I'm just saying he's not dedicated to doing it. That's a difference. That's a difference.
To do it. But when do you watch film?
LeBron practices free throws, but he's not dedicated to doing it because it shows in his free throws.
That's different.
I don't
You're
know.
comparing Kyler Murray, who's a top 10 quarterback, of course. Is Kyler Murray an all-time great?
No, he's not.
So stop with that foolishness. Stop getting the
standard to LeBron.
No, but what
okay, can I compare it to Westbrook?
Don't do unless no, we're not.
I had to get you flustered for a second.
You got me flickety flustered, homie. You caught me right there. I almost stuttered. I was this close to stuttering. I ain't even gonna cap. But all I'm saying is this: what people do, they go see Tom Brady and they see what he does and try to blanket that around the league. Is Aaron Rodgers watching all that film? No. No one's killing him for it.
That's why Aaron Rodgers doesn't make it out the NFC Championship game.
But meanwhile, people like you and Freddie still suck him dry.
Who?
You!
No, you ain't never hit me. What?
Chris.
No.
Let's go back. He's not ready for this conversation. Because we about to talk about his best friend right now, Aaron Rodgers, anyway. Go ahead.
What Aaron Rodgers? When have you ever heard me? No, sir.
Yeah, so Adams had to clarify some comments that he made about comparisons between Rodgers and Carr's Hall of Fame comparison, talking about basically anytime you change quarterbacks from Hall of Famer to Hall of Famer, it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment. And of course, people are like, "What the hell are you talking about? Carr's not a Hall of Famer, so why are we getting that calculated?" And of course, I think like Devontae said, once it's all written on paper, he realized he made a mistake. He goes, "That's not exactly what I meant. I just meant Hall of Famer to probably a future Hall of Famer." Because he does believe that Derek Carr eventually will become a Hall of Famer, and so he kind of went back and corrected it. Again, so 3-time Pro Bowler holds their passing record that the Raiders have done. Not that Carr's not accomplished in that sense. I don't know, man. I think it's a gap on his part. The media's going to eat that crap up, but Derek Carr, and because look, Adams is not backing down from the comment that he's going to be a Hall of Famer. So I guess the real question is, Devontae believes Carr's going to be a Hall of Famer. Do we believe he's going to be a Hall of Famer? Pride, what do you think?
I think he could. I think he's got the potential. I just want to say one thing about the Devontae Adams thing. What he did, because a lot of people are saying back away from it. He didn't backpedal. He didn't.
No, he didn't.
All Devontae Adams, what Devontae Adams did was repeat himself using different words.
You said he did the Bill Burr?
That's all he did.
He rephrased it.
Have you ever seen Bill's Burr? Have you ever seen Bill Burr's comedy?
Who?
Hey, so Bill Burr says like You know what I'm saying? Because he speaks from perspective as a white guy. And he says, you know what I love about black people? It's the way where they put certain words.
Yeah, so it's like
you know what I'm saying?
Asian.
Right,
it's like, yo, this Asian motherfucker. It's like, yo, what'd he do? What did he do? And then he was like, yo, this brother effing Asian. Whoa.
Right, calm down.
I saw that one.
Right, so that's what Devontae did.
All Devontae Adams did was he just was like, hey, yo, as far as talent and ability, it's really similar if I'm keeping it real. It's the same thing. He's basically just said the same thing. So shout out to Devontae Adams for not caring and doubling down. It all depends on this. And I need to apologize because a few years ago, I led the Derek Carr slander bandwagon.
He's not that bad.
I was like, no, yo, he's good. This motherfucker don't miss. No, he's good. Like, he's really good. This dude is talented.
And now you gave him the best receiver in football.
Oh my days. Oh my days. Allow it.
That he played with in college.
Allow it.
Yes.
And didn't they tear it up in college too?
Yes, they did.
Allow it. And by the way, not only does he have him, he got another slept-on dude.
He still got my boy.
Another slept-on dude in Hunter Renfrow.
Yep, Renfrow.
And you got a top, in my opinion, top 3. If you don't disagree with me, we could fight. I don't give a flying shit. We could fight. Tight end and Darren Waller.
Waller.
Now, they ain't got the best run game in the world, but it's respectable enough to give him some.
That's all you need is enough to get the play action.
And it's just enough.
When Jacobs is healthy, they have a decent run game.
Woo, but he healthy, boy. Is he average?
You know what? Let's talk about the real reason that people came at Devontae Adams.
Because it's Derek Carr.
Because of Tyreek Hill. Because Tyreek Hill has been like low-key slandering Pat Mahomes' name. Yes, he had. The moment you said Tua was more accurate than Pat Mahomes, dude, you have slandered.
But how is that slander though? Because one of the things. Hold on. One of the things that people loved about Tua Tagovailoa that when healthy, he's accurate.
He's not accurate. When you throwing from 8 yards, when you throwing 8-yard passes, you better.
You see how we catch him? But you suck Lamar for throwing 3-yard passes.
No, I don't.
Yeah, consistency, gotta have it.
Lamar's a better playmaker than Tua.
Oh, is he a better passer?
Let's not go there. Yeah, probably is. Yeah,
no, he's not.
I'm going with Lamar over Tua any day.
I'm going. Listen, and ready? You're going with a boring guy like Lamar Jackson. I'm going with Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa flip over.
Same person that called my boy Tanago.
I say Tanago. I say Tanago. Man, yo, I don't know what I was on, bro. I don't know what I was. I remember going out because I had to get Chinese food because I was hungry. I think that's why I said Tannehill was top 10. I think I was hungry. I think I needed a Snickers. I don't know what's going on with me that day. I must have went.
You need one now talking about Tua better than Lamar Jackson.
I'm not saying he's better than Lamar Jackson. I didn't say he's better than Lamar Jackson. I'm just saying he's accurate. That's all I'm saying.
Is he more accurate than Pat Mahomes?
The Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
If we're talking about like short passes, I would say
we're talking about in general as a quarterback.
Overall,
who'd you rather play with?
Who would I rather play with?
Yeah.
Sure, I'll play with you. Well, I'm not playing.
Who do you
Let's keep it a buck. Whatever team I make, I'm not playing. So who gives me the money, right? But if we're talking about, I'll be honest. If we're talking about if I'm a receiver, I would prefer who could throw the short ball better because that's the routes I'm running.
Right, but you don't have the speed that Tyreek Hill has.
Right, but the thing is Tyreek Hill is also running short passes. Like in Dolphins, they're making him run a little more shorter stuff.
Right.
So it could be that, he's seeing that. So he's like, man, this kid is mad,
You know what? I do hate that because they paint that narrative like Tyreek Hill runs these Deshaun Jackson routes. Like,
no, he does not run those.
Right. You know what I'm saying? He's not that
short routes. He's explosive though, and because
the only deep route he runs is a fly route.
Right.
That's really it.
It's like
and
the only
time he ever
situation.
Exactly, but even Tyler Lockett can run deep routes too. So, but I think the only time he ever runs a route is if like they're playing zone and the corner's up and the safety's playing a little deep, and then he'll run like this. I don't even want to call it a post because it's really not.
He just run.
Exactly. He just kind of runs, right?
People
So
He has
when
the
you have a
speed and the
situation
agility.
where like
keep calling him a route runner. He's not a route runner. He's
I've never in my life, and that's the weird part. Me personally, once you call Tyreek Hill a route runner, I don't listen to you anymore. I personally can't because it's like he's like he can't run a route. Like
If you say he's a route runner, I don't believe you watch football.
right, you don't. You just get your top 10s off of like ESPN lists. You don't really look. You know what I mean?
Cooper Kupp is the definition of a route runner.
Hunter Renfro,
Hunter Renfro,
right. Devontae Adams, those are
those
Jamar
are route
Chase
runners.
can run a route.
Chris
Stephon
Godwin.
Diggs can run a route. Chris Godwin can run a route. Like,
Jefferson.
Mike
Justin
Evans.
Jefferson. Like, Tyreek Hill ain't no route runner. He a runner. Not a route runner. There's difference. People don't
I
understand
really compare Tua to like the Jalen Hurts of the world, bro.
I think they're both in the situation of you need to take that extra step now.
They do.
They both need to.
They do.
Like they both need to take because they both got.
Like right
my
now,
opinion,
I think Jalen Hurts is under the biggest microscope this year.
I don't think so.
I think he is.
So,
like because the Eagles
Who is under the biggest
the
microscope?
Eagles have such a souped up offense.
But bro, they made the playoffs.
Right, but
So-
imagine if Dallas wins that conference. Wins that division. If Dallas wins that division, it is gonna hurt Jalen Hurts.
I don't think so.
No, Tua is because he got a new
I don't think so. And the only reason why this is the only reason why I say I don't think so. I don't think so because they go, look, just last year we made the wild card. This year, sure. Let's give it one more year and let's see what happens. Type of situation.
You didn't have AJ Brown last year. Now you have
but what I'm
added
saying is
expectation due to the weapons you have on your disposal.
Okay, I understand that, but Tua Tagovailoa, like you're not telling the full story, right? Tua Tagovailoa, they picked him over Brian Flores. They got a new head coach who they believe can unlock Tua. They got Tyreek Hill for Tua, and this is basically the year that they're letting Tua do whatever he wants. Over in Philly, they still don't even know what they really want with Jalen Hurts. They don't know whether they want him or not. So that uncertainty it keeps playing with house money. It doesn't matter if the kid throws for over 4,000 yards and it has over a 70% completion percentage. Philly's never really going to back him like that.
But I think you're not thinking about Philly, who Philly is as a city.
I think there's more. I think there's
Philly's
more.
hold on, no, time out. Philly is a garbage state in terms of its fan base because this is the same fan base who ran Ben Simmons out of town after he helped them get the #1 seed.
But this is also the same fan base that welcomed Jalen Hurts with open arms once
And
they
why
Carson
they
Wentz
do
throw
that?
16 touchdowns and 15 interceptions.
They did that only because they didn't want Carson anymore because the franchise set that tone. The franchise set the tone that we need to get rid of Wentz.
This
so
is the same crowd that was booed WWE.
It's
crowd.
the same. It's the same fan base that pelt snowballs.
This fan base is horrible. It's a horrible fan base, bro. It's a horrible fan base.
Yeah,
I
but
think
you can go out there and, like I said,
Philly
you
is
can throw-
passionate, bro.
I think
No,
Carson
there's a
Wentz.
difference between passion and horrible, and Philly is horrible.
I think
pride,
Carson. I
pride,
think
even
Carson
Jets
Wentz
are
has more-
passionate.
Pride,
Jets
even
are
their
passionate.
radio guys are the
The
same way.
Giants are passionate. The Giants are even more passionate.
Pride, even
But
their
Philly
radio
is
guys.
garbage, bro. I'm
But
telling you.
pride.
And if anyone has any problem with it, we can fight about it.
Hey,
Yeah,
Pride.
but
Calm down, Lord Jesus.
Wait, hey, Pride. Even their radio guys are the same way. Their radio personalities are the same way too.
Because it sets a precedent. That's really is. Like once the organization automatically turns you. They forgot when they went to the Super Bowl, they went on the road that Carson Wentz paved. Carson Wentz paved, and he was going to be the unanimous MVP if he doesn't get hurt. He goes down, they turn their back on him. And the only reason why people like Jalen Hurts wasn't because they liked him. They hated Carson so bad just for being a human being. They hated him so bad, ran him out of town, got Jalen Hurts. And 3 weeks into Jalen Hurts into Jalen Hurts getting the full-time job, you got people telling he should be cut.
Hey, it wasn't just the fans. That was internal too, though. You got to remember.
think-
Rob,
they made a shrine of Nick Foles.
But Rob, what I say, Rob? What I say?
But
I said it starts with the team.
I'm talking about internal though.
I'm saying it starts with the team. It starts with the G. Like, I don't know if it's the ownership it starts with, but the bare minimum starts with the GM, and it goes down. Then everyone turns their back. Then when they see that, then everyone's out here doing, bro. Let me ask you a question.
Hey, Philly still accepts Allen Iverson to this day.
Hey, real quick, Carson Wentz.
Man, that's the same fan base that cheered just when he got hurt.
Carson Wentz is under. To me, Carson Wentz is under more pressure than what Jalen Hurts is this year.
Well, in Indy, nobody thinks.
No.
Tua
is.
Because no, I'm not saying he has under more pressure than Tua. I'm saying that Wentz is under more pressure than what Jalen Hurts is. Because this is Wentz's last chance to start.
It probably is, in all honesty. It probably is. It really is sad. It really is sad.
I think we all can agree that all three are under a tremendous amount of pressure.
They are.
I think we all can agree on that.
No, Jalen Hurts is under pressure, bro.
No, he's under pressure. I don't think it's under that much because I'll be honest. I think Philly already made up their mind with him. I think after his contract, he's gone. He's just there to buy time for them to try to tank and maybe next year get one like a Spencer Rattler or something like that. That's what I think. I just don't think that they really trust him.
He was there before the head coach was there, right?
Yeah.
Well, Philly make decisions based on the fans.
No, what I'm saying though, usually if a quarterback's there before the head coach, that head coach gets rid of that quarterback and gets his guy.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, real quick, so we're talking about John Mitchell III. As you know, he is out for the season due to a diagnosis of acute promyelocytic leukemia. That's a sad part about it, but the good news is that it's the most curable form. So, and honestly, if you're gonna have, I hate to say it, but if you're gonna have a cancer, Houston is the best spot because they have all the best cancer treatment centers. So, obviously, curable form, best spot for treatment. He expects himself to make a full recovery from it, but he will miss, 1 year. He'll be put on the active non-football illness list. It's kind of sad for him, man. He got traded, he tore his ACL in the SEC championship last year. He comes first year in NFL, and of course, then he gets diagnosed with, leukemia. So now he's got to miss out on the second year. They traded up 3 picks from the Browns to grab Michi. But again, it's sad as it is that he's having to go through these things, and at least he's got the most curable form. Look at it, kind of try to be optimistic about it. But again, my heart goes out to the Michi family, man, and I wish him a speedy recovery. Right?
It really is sad, you know what I mean? Before he tore his ACL in December, he was looking great. Kid was looking. At the time he had over 1,000 yards. I think like 8 touchdowns. Kid was looking great. Tore his ACL. Said they expected him to be ready by training camp and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So now you got the Texans trading up. They got rid of 3 for picks to move up in the second round. I think it was a 44th pick that they ended up getting him, and it sucks. And especially because like this is a situation that's out of your control. This isn't a situation that he went out and did something stupid and got hurt. Like Henry Ruggs being a bozo and driving drunk. This isn't a situation of someone riding their bikes, popping a wheelie and breaking their wrist. This isn't a dude who just did stupid stuff like Aqib Talib and shot himself. Picture that. This is so much out of his control that it must be utterly devastating. And some people are like making jokes saying, "Oh wow, the Texans wasted a pick." I kind of feel for the kid. I really do. Like imagine. And again, it's treatable. So it's not like he's walking away, right? Like they believe he'll be able to come back. But imagine, like, damn, bro, I got cancer, and this how y'all gonna do me?
Right.
Surprise Houston's actually doing right by him,
There's some really jacked up people in this world that are, if you're that callous about that, that's pretty messed up.
Yeah, and I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I
know you are.
Messed up piece of garbage.
Guys on match, man. 3 picks, obviously to get him. ACL last year, they still, took the gamble on him, trading up, and then he comes down having cancer. Obviously not his fault. You're going to go through cancer, chemo, and all that kind of. It's really going to wreak havoc on his body. How long, number one, I do believe it's going to be curable. It says most curable forms. I'm a bit optimistic side that he's going to be fine. But how long is it going to be, you think, before he gets back into game time shape and ready to go?
The situation sucks because the guy hasn't even got a chance to get his career started, and then you're basically getting your dream took from you. I do think he'll get he will be back. Hopefully, maybe this is just miss a season. We've seen players or athletes come back from leukemia. For example, Roman Reigns in WWE, he's had to leave a couple times to get it back in remission and everything, and come back. So there's no doubt that in my mind that he can come back and perform at a high level. We just got to hope there's no complications with, like you said, when you put radiation and that stuff in your body, you never know how it's going to affect you. It affects people differently. So hopefully he can make a full recovery and get back on the field, because it sucks to see a guy that's worked as hard as somebody in that position does to just kind of get your dreams snatched from you by, like Pride said, by something that's out of your control.
You know, and now with the advancements in technology, with cancer treatments and things like that, they actually have things they can put in your body that, unlike radiation and chemotherapy, which kills good cells and bad cells, this stuff is actually designed to target only the cancer cells. So I think if he gets that type of exploratory treatment, hopefully that'll be a beneficiary, and it won't quite affect him as much. Jonathan, what's up?
Yeah, I'm rooting for a comeback story for this guy, and we've seen a lot of that in sports. We've seen players battle with illnesses, and they would bounce back from it. And all I can hope for is a speedy recovery. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. I saw my dad go through cancer. He died of lung cancer when I was 11 years old in 1997. So I know what he's going through mentally. I can only imagine what he's going through having to deal with this. And like most of you guys said on here, I mean, it feels like you're having your dreams snatched away from you. You work tremendously hard to put yourself in this position, and then something like this just happens, and it's out of your control, and there's really nothing you can do about it but pray and hope that you get the proper treatment and care needed so you can get back on the field and you could continue to pursue your dream and live out your NFL career. But I'm rooting for him. I hope we see him on an E60 or in one of these ESPN 30 for 30 stories, because at the end of it all, I think it's going to be a very, very feel-good story for Mechie. And I'm definitely rooting for this kid to keep fighting. That's what most cancer survivors do. They fight to the very end. And you're right, Jay. He's in the right place. He's in Houston. Houston has the best chemotherapy. They have the best cancer medical centers there. I had a buddy who I went to high school with. He was dealing with cancer. He was battling, and he was sent to Houston for treatment, and he has recovered, and he is a survivor. So I wish him all the best. I hope he fights through this to the very end and get back on the football field and pursue the sport that he loves.
Absolutely, yes. So big shot, Rob, man. Mechie, cancer, but like Jonathan said, like I was saying, man, if you're gonna get cancer, the two best things you can have is the type of cancer he has, which is the most treatable, and obviously to be in the best city to treat it. So lots of good, positive things are going to go his way to help him fight this disease. What do you think about it, brother?
It's just a sad case,
It really is.
I don't care what type of cancer it is. Just to hear that word, it has to play with your psyche. A lot of people back in the day before, modern medicine, cancer was a death wish.
Yes.
It was just a death sentence. Thank you. It really was. And even today, you look at things are treatable, but what you have to go through doing chemo. I personally had to watch my auntie who beat breast cancer twice. The chemotherapy and everything like that, and to see how it affected her and what it can do to you, even though it's helping you, it's still it takes a toll on you. So I'm just hoping that throughout all the treatment, they say it's curable, but it's different strokes for different folks. We never know how somebody might react to one treatment as opposed to other people. So we just hoping that throughout it all that he's able to we're not even worried about the football field. Get his life in order and to just be able to live life and to go from a young adult to an older adult and live his life in a great way. So my thoughts and prayers are with John Mechie III. You know, get well soon, brother.
Targeted therapy. That's what it's called. Targeted therapy is a type of cancer treatment. It uses drugs to target specific genes and proteins that help cancer cells survive and grow. So, like I said, there's a lot of cool things that they can do now to treat this cancer that doesn't have to necessarily go the radiation or the chemo route. So hopefully that will help him out now. And I think it's supposed to be a better form, obviously, because you're not killing the good stuff, which helps your body fight the cancer to begin with. So thoughts and prayers out to Michi family. I know what it's like, man. You know, if you don't know about my wife, Melanie, her mom had breast cancer, her sister had breast cancer. So I'm constantly harping on her about that with the doctor, man. I'm checking that stuff out because that's really the last thing you want to hear. But if you do hear it, you better catch it early so you have a better chance at fighting it, which is a good thing for Mechie that they caught this early. And hopefully they'll get this taken care of, and then he can continue on with that fabulous football career that is going to be ahead of him. All right, folks, we'll move on to the next topic, and that is top 10 wide receivers in the NFL. Agree, disagree with the list. I'm gonna go last. I'm really curious to see where Pride puts his guys. Pride?
You're muted.
Yeah, I just realized. Cooper Kupp 1, I get it. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs. Top 5, relatively understand. I don't know why D-Hop isn't in there. I guess because like the injuries and stuff like that, but teach their own. Debo at 6, okay. Hill at 7, ridiculous. CD at 8 is a joke. T. Higgins at 10th makes me lose validity in this. DJ Moore at 13th, hilarious. Michael Pittman Jr. at 14th. Kid can't even spell count to 14, so that's ridiculous. Deontay Johnson is hilarious. I mean, talk about overrated. Terry McLaurin being 17 is a joke. Darnell Mooney at 18th. I probably would have put him at like 25, but whatever. Brandon Cooks at 19th. I feel a solid. DK. I'll say my thoughts. Hollywood Brown at 21. I get it. Say Brown 22. Chris Godwin at 23. I think he should have been higher. Jerry Jeudy 24. Allen Robinson 25. Okay. To each their own. But for my top 10, by the way, honorable mentions to Odell and Michael Thomas. Both of them being injured, I couldn't put them in there. You know, I just couldn't. Let's see how they end up. And then the two guys that, in my opinion, didn't just barely miss the cut for me, Adam Thielen and DK Metcalf. 10, AJ Brown. And by the way, I mean this list with all due disrespect. There's one name people think I miss. By the way, I didn't miss that name. 10, AJ Brown. 9, Keenan Allen. 8, Mike Evans. 7, Deebo Samuel. 6, Jamar Chase. 5, Justin Jefferson. 4, Stephon Diggs. 3, DeAndre Hopkins. 2, Cooper Kupp. 1, Devontae Adams. And I'm going to say it one more time because I know I didn't miss a name. AJ Brown, Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, Deebo Samuel, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, Cooper Kupp, and Devontae Adams. All due disrespect intended, of course.
Hey, I'm okay with that list. That's respectable. Gonzales, Christopher, what is your top 10?
I got Hopkins at 1, Devontae Adams 2, Cooper Kupp 3, Stephon Diggs at 4, Justin Jefferson 5, Jamar Chase 6, Deebo Samuel 7. I got McLaurin at 8, Keenan Allen at 9, and Adam Thielen at 10.
Okay. All right.
You know, these rankings are always tough for me because you got so much talent throughout the league, and you got a lot of top receivers in the game. But I'm gonna do this to the best of my ability, and I'm gonna say Devontae Adams is number 1 on my list. Number 2, I'm gonna have to put Jamar Chase up there. We saw what he did in his rookie season. It was just amazing, incredible stuff from him. So I put him at number 2. Number 3, I would have to put Cooper Kupp. Number 4, I'll probably throw in Justin Jefferson. Number 5, it would be Stephon Diggs. Number 6, Debo Samuel. Number 7, you gotta give T. Higgins some love. I guess you throw him in there. Number 8, definitely Mike Evans. And number 9, this is where it gets tough for me. I would probably have to put Tyreek Hill on the list. And then number 10, CeeDee Lamb.
Now, can I ask, are these just the receivers that's up here? Because I don't think I see my boy on here.
No, I just put that on there just for a graphic. If you have a different list, put a different list. Absolutely.
But that number 10 was very close to me because I almost put DK Metcalf up there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really hard, guys. It's tough.
So what you got, Rob?
Hold on. I'm almost there. I'm really studying. I'm really studying this list, man.
So everybody has Tyreek Hill as a top 10.
No, I didn't have Hill in my top 10 because he's not a route runner.
I didn't either. Did Pride have him in the top 10?
To me, Tyreek,
I had him in the top 10 because I think he's an explosive player and he has the speed to make something happen. He can create.
Right. I get it.
He can create on offense. That's why I put him in the top 10.
I get it.
But he's not an excellent route runner. I agree with you guys there.
Okay. Hold on. Because I'm really studying this list, man. This is a unique thing when you picking out receivers.
I mean, it really can go either way. I mean,
was in there. I was really curious to see, where you guys.
It's subjective. It's like watching a movie. It's subjective. Either you're gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. And people's rankings are gonna be different. You give everyone their top 10, they're gonna tell you something completely different.
Okay, I got y'all here, and Tyreek Hill is not in my top 10 either.
Let's see what you got.
I got. Are we going 10 up or 1 down?
No, go 1 to 10. Cause hey, listen, I'm not dyslexic. You got 10 to 1. I'm confused.
Okay, so number 1, of course, Devontae Adams. Do we all agree?
Yeah.
Number 2 to me is Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Number 3 to me is DeAndre Hopkins. Number 4, I'm going Jamar Chase.
That's who I forgot.
Number 5, I'm going Justin Jefferson. Number 6, I'm going Chris Godwin. 7, Stephon Diggs. 8, Debo Samuel. 9, Keenan Allen. 10, AJ Brown.
Okay, that's a good list. I like that. That's a good list too as well. I'm kind of close to you. Number 1, I had Devontae. 2, I got Kupp. 3, I got Jefferson. 4, I got Chase. 5, I got Hopkins. 6, I got Keenan Allen. 7, Debo Samuel. At 8, I got Brown, AJ Brown, and then I got, 9, I got AJ Brown, and then 10, I got McLaurin.
Yeah, I like McLaurin. That's the guy that played for the Commanders, right?
Yeah.
McLaurin, and then 10, I had CeeDee Lamb.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to throw DeAndre Hopkins in there. I totally forgot about him. I throw him at 5.
I gotta put D Hop in there. Tyreek Hill, don't get me wrong. He's a very explosive player. You haven't seen anybody like him because of his speed. But to me, when you're talking about just flat out receivers, I don't have him that high as a receiver.
He's a track star.
To me, he's a playmaker. He's the same. He's the way that we would classify Lamar Jackson. Like people say Lamar Jackson's not a quarterback. He's a playmaker. That's what Tyreek Hill is. He's a playmaker.
He's a playmaker because he's so damn fast. But if Tua don't give him the damn ball, he's gonna dissipate into nothing.
Yeah, I got Hopkins over. I didn't even have Higgins in my top 10, and that shows you the receivers are deep in the NFL.
Right.
The receivers are very deep in the NFL. Like
they're extremely deep.
It's not how it used to be. When it used to, you had your Randy Mosses, Terrell Owens, and then everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like the receivers are deep.
Right. No, I think a lot of times, even in fantasy football, you live and die by the running back. You honestly do. You live and die by the running back.
That's not a bad list, but Damian, I think sometimes, Damian, your problem is you live in the past.
Oh man,
you can't put Julio in the top 10 list. But I like
today,
Renfro.
you can't.
I like Renfro. Renfro, I think, is making a name for himself.
He's a great route runner.
And you can't have T.Y.
You
can't have T.Y. in the top 10 anymore either.
Yeah. T.Y.
Can I make a request? I need to make a request up here. Damien, I hope you hear me on this. Because I really think, and I'm not even giving you a hard time, this isn't even me shit talking. This is me the legitimate business opportunity for you. And I will back this. I would like to see you private message me a video done in the style of the Trubisky video with your top 10 list.
We going viral.
Listen, I'm gonna put that on TikTok. I'm gonna give you credit bombs and unscripted credit bombs, and we're gonna go viral. I'm just saying, I think we go viral with that. And that's just based off of what we got. And listen, we can be rich off of you. I'm just think about it. Private message me that video, and we will discuss legal expenses of how we recoup our money once it goes viral, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Having said that, we are going to move on now to the next topic for bids. Why are the best NBA coaches role players? About it. A lot of the great coaches weren't the star players of their teams. They were the backups, or not the backups, but the second team options.
But I think
I'm gonna let Rob start this one off, and then we're gonna work our way up. Rob,
you know what? I think NBA coaches, like the best NBA coaches, are role players, because role players essentially understands what the coach needs. Role players have to do a lot to get into the league.
Right.
You know what I mean? And granted, some players were stars at their high school or college and then got into the NBA and became role players. But I think role players become an extension of what the coach wants on the court, because role players have to be so fundamentally sound to make it to the NBA, to make it to the big time. And I think role players, they can understand the frustration of somebody not being in a spot, because being in your spot or hitting that screen at the right time or stepping up defensively at the right time can be the difference of a bucket. And I think role players understand that, because you can't ISO like a LeBron or a KD or a Kobe or a Michael Jordan and just go get a bucket. Everything has to go right for you to score. You know what I mean? So I think role players understand that, especially bench players, like players that come off the bench, they make great coaches, because you have to be that fundamentally sound to make it to the big time, and you essentially have to gain a skill. Like, you have to be the best at something. JJ Redick is not a great overall player, NBA terms, but he was one of the greatest shooters to ever shoot the ball. He gained a skill. I believe JJ Redick would be a great coach. Look at Steve Kerr. Look at these guys that and then you look at star players that wasn't that good. As Larry Bird, who was okay, Isaiah Thomas was horrible as a coach. He doesn't have the patience. Magic Johnson was horrible he just doesn't have the patience, because you expect them to look at things how you look at things, and that's not the case. I think role players would make. That's why they make excellent GMs too. You got to know talent. You got to know, like, hey, that guy is better than me. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to accept that. You got to accept that the fact that you're not the man no more.
No, absolutely, Jonathan.
Yeah, I agree with what mostly Scott said there, because Rob said there. Because look, a lot of these role players, man, they were on the bench enough to see what the coach is doing, so they're able to learn from what the coach is doing, and they could see what they needed to do just to make an impact, so they developed those skills by sitting on the bench and watching the coach, And so I think that's why they make great NBA coaches, and they have great instincts, as well. So I think by being on the bench more and being around the coaches, they were able to develop those qualities. They're able to teach and motivate players, and that's why they make good NBA coaches.
No, I definitely agree with that as well. Chris?
I think the reason you see more role players as better coaches than your stars is one of the main reasons is a star, when you're on top like that, you just expect everybody else to kind of be able to do what you can do and see what you see. Where these role players, they have to work harder to try to get to that level, and I think they're able to understand your normal players better than what a star can, because a star is still at that level and just can sometimes just say, hey, okay, you should know that. You should be self-motivated. I shouldn't have to tell you this, tell you that. Where a guy that was a role player, he knows how it feels. He knows what to be telling these other the players and how to get the most out of the players. Where I think a star, it hits a little different because they expect everybody to see things like they do.
Yeah.
Right. And they have a great eye for talent too.
Yeah, absolutely. John says Bill Russell's not on here because this is more, like I said, a list of role players. Ain't no way in hell Bill Russell was a role player. Just come with that. Bill Russell ain't no role player. Otherwise, he'd be on this list. But yeah, this is basically just role players that became coaches. So, or in a lot of cases. So yeah, I didn't put Bill Russell on this list just because he's freaking Bill Russell. Damn it. I think what makes a good role player is exactly. A good coach is a lot of the things like you guys talked about. I just think that when you're a role player, you become a better coach because a lot of times, you have to develop. If you don't have the talent like the number one or the number two guy is, well, then you have to look at, okay, what can I bring to the team? What can I bring to the game? What can I learn? And I think that's when they really develop the more basketball IQ side of things. And again, you're talking to the coaches a lot. Like Steve Kerr was under Phil Jackson, Pat Riley, things like that. They had great mentors above them to really teach them the game. And if they don't got the talent, they're probably the ones that are picking the coach's brain the most. So I think there's a lot of times they just have, so they don't have the raw talent like the other guys do. They develop other things, which is basketball acumen and psychological aspects and things like that, so that they can use that at their arsenal. And that's just my thought process behind it. But I just thought it was crazy. The more I looked at some of these coaches, and I kept thinking to myself, man, a lot of these guys, they weren't the number one guys on their team. Like Steve Kerr, he was like the Klay Thompson. It's the guy, or the Robert Horry. He just dish it out. He hits the three. That's his niche. He's just the guy that hits the three ball when it's needed. And so, but again, those guys make the greatest coaches. Ty Lue, same thing, man. Great coach, role player. So it's amazing.
You see that in all sports, though. You see that in baseball too, and you see that in football as well.
Yeah, you're right. And then a lot of times, maybe the number one guys don't really want to take on the roles as coaches because they're all the number one guys, and they've got probably a million endorsements or a million other business opportunities, whereas maybe the more local role players, when they exit the game, they probably do turn to coach because maybe they don't have the big contracts or the big money or whatever to go out there and start schools or, get involved in franchise. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So maybe that's just their next level of career development is to go from player to coach. You know what I mean?
But I also think, too, that being the number one player makes you lazy sometimes. Because sometimes you can depend on God-given ability, and I can just go get whatever I need to get when I need to get it.
You don't have to
as opposed to somebody that has to work for it and study.
Sometimes you rest on your
like
laurels. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay as much. You don't have to pay as much attention to detail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And role players do pay more attention to detail.
That's what makes Kobe Bryant so rare.
That's true.
That's what made Kobe Bryant so rare.
They're trying to get on the roster. You got to remember, a lot of those role players, they're trying to get on a roster. So they're trying to make a name for themselves. So they have to be more attentive to the detail.
Oh,
and that is what helps them develop not only as a player, but in the long term to become a head coach someday.
I gotta imagine that once Chris Paul is done playing, he's got to be a coach somewhere. That dude is too.
I think Chris Paul will make a great GM.
Yeah, or even GM, coach, GM, whatever. I mean, at some level, he's going to be back in basketball outside of his playing days. I mean, I don't see why I can't imagine him not.
And watch one day we see Tyler Hero become a great head coach.
Hey, it's true. It's possible.
I can actually see Tyler Hero being a great college coach. I can see it. I don't know why. I can see that.
Well, hell, you got to start somewhere.
He got a hell of a name. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Hero.
I can see some of these role players that we see today becoming great head coaches in the near future.
Oh, we're going to talk about the Celtics and Pride ain't even here no more? What the hell?
Man. I don't know why Pride bugged out. I told his ass, man. Hey,
I'm going to bounce soon, fellas.
Hey, he knew the topic list. I don't know why he bugged out because I really wanted to get his perspective. I think his team is obviously mentioned. First of all, I don't see this happening. I don't think the Celtics are going to give that much up for KD. I just cannot see that happening. I don't. But this is one of the things that was floating around there. They're one of the teams that can fulfill the requirements of what the Nets are looking for, right? They got the players, they got the picks, they got what it takes. But I don't see this happening. And again, if you don't see this happen, where does he go then?
Kevin Durant's not going nowhere. He is staying put. He is staying
put. Your turn, damn it. Hey, man, I tried to say that to Pride, man, but that man don't ever stop talking long enough to say that. So, and I love Pride. Don't get me twisted.
Yeah.
No. Hey, hold on. Gonzo, what do you think, man? If you don't think he goes here, then where do you think he goes?
I don't think he's going to end up with Boston because I think the Nets are asking for too much, more than what Boston's going to want to give up. Okay, if I'm Boston or not Boston, if I'm the Nets, I'm not giving them up just for nothing. You signed a 4-year contract with me. If I can't get what I want for you, I'm not trading you, and you're going to play here. What are you going to do? Sit out for 4 years and not play?
Yeah,
I'm not just going to give them away. And if I'm Boston, I'm not. Don't get me wrong, Durant's a great player, but I'm not breaking up my whole core of my team just to get Durant when we were in the finals. It wasn't like the Celtics were far away from a championship. They took the Warriors to 6 games. They had to lead in the series at one point. So I mean, I just think you're breaking up too much of your core group to get them. Now, if you could get them and you're only giving up maybe Brown and some draft picks or something like that, okay, then I'd be more on board for it. But if you're giving up Brown and Smart and White and some of these other guys, you're clearing out your bench, your depth, and you might not make it as far as you did last year. So I just think
that's a good point.
But honestly, right. I think KD is going to be back with the Nets at least until maybe the trade deadline. I think he starts the season with the Nets.
Jonathan, so I know you kind of already alluded to the fact that he stays in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And so in that case scenario, then does Brooklyn, where's the upside for Brooklyn? Because he's not going to be happy there. I mean, I don't know, man. What do you think? What do you think? What do you see the long term? Does he just write out this contract and then go somewhere else? Which I guess he'd be what?
You know what? I think there's a possibility that he can get traded somewhere in the middle of the season if it doesn't pan out for him. I think right now the Nets are gonna find a way to try to make this work. Hopefully, they can reconcile their differences or whatever is going on between both parties, and hopefully he would commit to being a Net for the long term.
Because the Nets don't have a bad roster, man.
Yeah, he signed a 4-year deal, and I think maybe he should honor that contract. And when you look at the Nets roster, like Chris just said, the Nets are not really a bad team. They're actually a very, very, very good basketball team.
I agree with you. I agree.
No question. They got the role players. They're just missing a head coach. That's all they need. They need a leader on that team, and that's the only thing that they're missing is leadership. If they get leadership, because they got all the talent in the world, they got the players, they got the playmakers. They just need leadership, and that's it. So I think KD stays put. I think if you make a trade for him, the Nets are going to ask for a lot in return. They're going to basically ask for your future assets and some trade picks, and that's just too much to give up. Especially for the Celtics. This trade doesn't even make sense. The Celtics just fell short in the NBA Finals. Why would you make that? Why would you make that trade?
Well, they fell a little bit more than short. I mean, they got the 2 games there, but there was a lot lacking. And there was a lot lacking on the Celtics side. So the Celtics, even though they lost 4-2, there was still a big marginal gap between those 2 teams that the Celtics, needed to address if they wanted to have another chance to take down that team. I don't know. Rob Scott, what do you think, brother?
Man, I think Boston right now tripping. Let's call it what they are. They tripping. I wouldn't even put that idea out there. First of all, look at what Jaylen Brown sent out via Twitter. SMH. I just want to let you guys know something. Jaylen Brown is getting tired of being in the trade discussions.
Right.
He was the best player in the NBA Finals for the Boston Celtics. To me, I think he played better than Jason Tatum. Now, don't get me wrong. As Pride would say, we can't take away what Jason Tatum had done. Excuse me. But when you look at what he did in the finals, Jaylen Brown thinking he has cemented his place in Boston, and now you got me on the trade block again for somebody as toxic as Kevin Durant. And if I'm Boston, I'm not doing it. I'm not giving away all of my pieces for Kevin Durant. Like I just can't. I'm not giving up Jaylen Brown. I'm not giving up my defensive player in the year, Marcus Smart. I'm not giving up Time Lord and Robert Williams or Grant Williams in that matter. Like I think Brooklyn is going to push the envelope on this trade discussion. They're gonna, anytime they say we want this, you're gonna come with this, and then Brooklyn is gonna say now we want that. They're not gonna let go of Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, hey, as Chris alluded to, as Jonathan alluded to, even you alluded to, McLovin. Brooklyn has a great roster. Brooklyn has a roster that can compete. You don't. I mean, you if Ben Simmons gets his head on straight, you got Ben Simmons. You bring it back Kyrie. You have Seth Curry. You have Joe Harris. I heard Brooklyn Nets are possibly looking into signing Dwight Howard. So you're going to have a squad over there that's going to be still a title contender, at least a contender in the Eastern Conference. If I'm Brooklyn, I'm not too happy-go-lucky to get rid of Kevin Durant, especially you haven't played 1 year in your 4-year contract, sir.
Yeah. Rob, here's my thought process on all of this, to be honest with you. Again, I'm going to start off with the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets trying to trade Kyrie or trying to trade Durant is not the issue. The problem with the Brooklyn, even if you trade them and you get whoever else, you still got the same issue. The issue didn't go away just because you got rid of Durant or you got rid of Irving. The issue's still there. And the issue is straight up coaching leadership. Hell, leadership from the front office down. Let's just be honest. Let's call it spade a spade. You don't need to get rid of the players. What you need to do is find a coach who is strong enough, who is player development, and can bring a team together. You need a good coach that can do that for you. And I don't know who that would be out there. That's available. But you need a guy that if a player says, "Hey, we don't need a coach. We're good." You need a coach that's going to not take that bullshit, step up and say, "Excuse me, I think you kind of do."
Yeah, you got to check that. And I think Steve Nash should have checked Kyrie when he said that statement. Like, what you mean you don't need a coach? I mean, this is the same team that just got swept.
You lose your power base?
You the only team in the playoffs to get swept. Damn right you don't need a head coach. Hell, you need all the head coaches if you can.
But you know what? That's the worst thing that can happen to a coach is when players take out your power base like that and you don't do anything about it. You might as well just go on ahead, come out the locker room. Just stay in there, watch, Friends or Seinfeld. Let them do what they do, and you just collect your check. Because even if you go on the floor, you're not making a damn difference because they're not listening to you. And when that happens, you can't win a championship with anarchy. There still has to be a respected structure. There still has to be, the coach leading the squad, one voice, one band, one sound, all that drumline crap, whatever you want to throw in there. But you've got to have a clear direction in order for you to win a championship. And the Brooklyn Nets never had a clear direction. It was just a bunch of people saying what they want to do, and then, as you see, you get swept out. Talent only goes so far, folks. It only goes so far.
Yeah, I felt like KD and Steve Nash relationship was forced. Like, even remember that hug that Steve Nash gave Kevin Durant after he hit a big shot. It just seemed so forced. It wasn't like the relationship you see with Steph and Steve Kerr, or you saw Popovich with Tim Duncan. You know what it
reminded me of? Hey, no, I got one for you. I got a visual. And Rob, I don't know if you saw it. Remember Jerry Maguire?
Yeah, I love Jerry Maguire. That's my movie. Hey, the Guam.
I'm a Tom Cruise fan. I like any movie with Tom Cruise in it.
Hold on now, stay with me on that. When we're talking about the forced hug, the awkward hug, the fake hug, or whatever, it reminds me of at the end of the movie when Tom Cruise, when what's his face? What's that dude? When Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character came over and just gave a big hug to Jerry Maguire. It's this most beautiful hug ever. And then the guy says to his agent, "Hey man, why don't we have a relationship like that?" And the guy tries to give him a hug.
Oh, he tried to hug him and he pushed him away. He was like, "I like to take my agent."
But you know what though?
Jerry Maguire. Hey, Jay, you had me at hello.
You had me at hello, brother. But and if I can digress just for a second, when I look at this, though, right? When I look at this, here's my thing. Number one, Golden State is a beast. Yeah. Even without Wiseman, they were a beast. They won. They didn't do nothing. And then when you throw in the healthy Wiseman at the beginning of training camp or whatever,
I gotta go, fellas. I'm about to go.
All right, John, we'll catch up with you.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right, be good, brother.
All right.
But, hey, Golden State, can you imagine how good they're going to be number one when you add Wiseman to the bunch?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, Golden State.
A healthy Wiseman coming out that performance in the Summer League is going to just do miracles for that team. They already won a championship without him.
And you got to remember, now you're giving Klay Thompson a year of rest. You're giving Draymond some time to get some rest. His confidence is now over the moon. Steph Curry is going to come back with unbelievable confidence, and they're going to have something else to prove. They're going to have something else to prove. I'm just, Rod Till. That was my guy. I just like he said, he told him, let me have my moment.
Yeah. Did I catch it? Yeah, you caught it. He got to start dancing.
Oh, really?
he said, I love the black man.
Hey, Jerry Maguire is my movie, but yeah.
But you gotta admit, that was like my favorite scene is when he's yelling in his office. So
Sometimes I be wanting to walk out. Sometimes I be wanting to walk off my job. Like, who's coming with me?
Yeah, who's coming with me?
I'm thinking the goldfish.
Yeah, think of the goldfish.
But yeah, you know what? I'll say this. Hold on. I'll say this though. If Golden State wins another ring, you thought KD's legacy was hurt this year.
Oh, it's terrible. It's garbage.
He might drop down to top 20.
So if you've got a formidable team that didn't give up anything, kept that same roster and added Wiseman to the mix, they beat the Celtics 4-2 very, very decidedly. And then you got Boston, number one, if they were to make that trade, would have zero chance, depth. to even compete with Golden State, number one, much less even in the East. Number two, they don't make the trade. You still look at where the Celtics are now. I mean, what's your chances? I'm glad Pride is here because Pride, you're going to address that.
So first of all, let me apologize.
You okay, bro?
No, I apologize. My fiance had her uncle come over, so while she was talking to him, I had to watch the kids because every time we have company, they decide to do literally the wildest things in the world. The wildest, like
that's what kids do.
Bro, like my son got, I don't know why, but my son decided to climb in the sink in the bathroom. Bless his heart, though. Bless his heart. I don't know what gave him the idea. Bless his heart, but I had to take care of them. So I'm glad I'm able to able to come back to address these shenanigans.
Well, you're doing better than I did when I was a kid. I tried to climb in the sink when I was about 5 years old. I saw my daddy shaving one day. And I said,
oh shit.
I can do that. I can shave. So what does the young Jason do? Butt naked, climbs on top of the sink because he can't look in the mirror. Trying to shave.
Hey, don't feel bad. I had a ladder match with
I cut myself in multiple different spots. I had to go to the emergency room. It's terrible.
Hey, I had a hardcore ladder match with a pillow. I beat the shit out that pillow. I'm telling you.
What is she telling?
See, we had hardcore wrestling matches with my dad. We beat the hell out of my dad. Mom would come home from work, the gumball machine and all the lamps would be broke, and all she'd be pissed.
Oh man. Oh, question: did everyone go for this KD topic yet? I just want to make sure.
No, wait, hold on, because no, don't go just yet, Pride, because we got something different. Guys, go ahead and get your spill in on this real quick.
Already did.
Okay, well, damn it, I'm old, I forget.
Listen, so first and foremost,
let me just say, Pride. Let me give you the full force. Give me the full force. Hold on. Let me say a couple of things. So I want you to address this in the midst of everything.
Yep.
So number one, I know you're probably not going for this trade. You're probably thinking this is the dumbest thing ever. So number two, where do you see KD actually going, or does he stay? And number three, with Wiseman looking as good as he's looking, if he transcends and brings that same, healthiness and summer vibe to this already potent Golden State squad, what is the Celtics going to have to do? Number one, to get back out of the East, and number two, if they they get to the finals, what are they going to have to do? Because I'm pretty sure Golden State's going to be there again.
I just want to make sure. All right. So you're basically asking me, is this a dumb trade? Where KD go, and then what do the Celtics need to go to get back to the finals? Okay, so first and foremost,
and then when they do get to the finals, if they have a healthy Wiseman, which I think if Wiseman comes back healthy, especially what they did in the summer league, I think it's going to transcend that. It's going to give them now the bigger presence in the paint. How would the Celtics, who fell 4-2 last year, how are they going to counteract, or how are they going to compete with this new version of the Golden State Warriors?
Okay, so let me just first one. Is it dumb? Yes. And let's be honest. Any trade for Kevin Durant right now is dumb. Let me let that sink in one more time. Again, people aren't ready for that conversation because we make a mistake every time we see a player that's great like Kevin Durant and demand a trade. Everyone always feels like you have to make a play for him. My response to that is not necessarily. You don't always have to trade for a guy because, and I will say this before, and I said it before, I would rather take a guy with less talent that fits better than a superstar. More times than not, I'm willing to go there. Why do you think I loved the Malcolm Brogdon trade?
Right.
Why do you think I loved it? Because he filled a void we needed. It's a stupid, idiotic, brainless, mentally handicapped, any other synonyms you have, aloof, whatever you want to call it. If anyone in the Celtics organization think this is serious, they should be fired immediately.
Blasphemy.
I'm being 1,000% honest. I would rather fire everyone who looks in the mirror and says this is a good idea. Ever. Because there's only two things we needed. And in those two things, KD doesn't fill any void that we needed. We needed someone who could orchestrate the offense. When has KD ever been an orchestrator of offense?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And two, we need youth at the forward position so that way we don't rely on another old guy like Al Horford. Is KD a youth?
Hell no.
And on top of that, people go, oh, yeah, you got to trade Kevin. It's Kevin Durant. Look how much defense we would potentially lose.
Oh, you're losing a lot of defense.
No, not a lot. Damn near all of it.
That's true. Because
the only two guys we would now have that play defense if this trade were to go through would be Jason Tatum. No, because they perhaps could want Smart. So the only two guys I know that will be on my team that play defense is Time Lord Robert Williams and Jason Tatum. That's it.
Well, and Brogdon.
But Brooklyn
will play some defense.
But
Brooklyn doesn't want Grant Williams. Brooklyn wants Robert Williams.
So we
don't give up
Robert Williams. Period. We're not giving up. I highly doubt that. We should not be giving up any one of our young core. But here's the thing. Another part that really bothers me about this is the Boston Celtics had a timeline. Mm-hmm. You see, we have a chance of going back next year, and the year after that. And the year after that. Mm-hmm. And the year after that, with this young core we have. Of our core, do you know who the oldest player is in our core? Marcus Smart. No, I'm talking about in our core.
Smart is like what, 28, right?
Oh,
28. Yeah. He's not even 30 yet.
Right.
20.
I think so Marcus Smart, he's got what, maybe 3-4 years of prior activity left in him? Maybe 5? I don't know. What do you think?
No, he's young as hell.
28.
No, 28. But when is
got like 6?
But you gotta understand his prime is
6 to 7
different.
years.
Exactly.
You acting like his prime is like from an offensive standpoint.
And not only that,
he just has to continue to be an anchor and does what he do.
And not only that, the problem is you don't need Marcus Smart to go out there average 30.
Right.
Because yes, when we're in droughts, Marcus Smart can get a bucket himself.
Honestly, the older he gets, the better he gets.
And you want to watch perfect? Because in the system, what does he do best? His role.
Defense.
His role.
Yeah, you're right.
His role. You tell him what he needs to do, and he does it, and he's coachable. Ime got this man to chill out.
He is very coachable.
It wasn't as great as we wanted, but he was able to reel him back some.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I'm not taking anything away from our illustrious host and Jay Mclovin.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta ask you a question, Pride.
Go ahead.
Do you think after Jaylen Brown reaction,
yes, he'll want to stay 100%.
Do you think you need to complete this trade now, or at least a trade? Because Jaylen Brown is starting to get pissed off.
Okay, here's what you need to do. Understand, it's not like we're shopping him everywhere. By the way, John Suggs says, surprised I haven't mentioned Tatum, but agree I wouldn't trade him for Kyrie. Here's the thing with Jason Tatum. He's on that rookie extension.
Yeah.
Which goes, if you don't know, look up the designated rookie rule. Because they have Ben Simmons, they wouldn't be able to get Jason Tatum, which is why they're going hard.
Tatum's off limits.
That's why the Suns can't trade Booker as well.
Oh no, let's break rules because it's Suns. You know,
well, the Suns messed up when they kept Aiden.
Well,
y'all threw a big monkey wrench in that, Chris, as the
No, they threw the monkey wrench themselves because they're idiots.
Themselves.
You're not gonna sit there and say, "Oh yeah, this guy sucks." By the way, we want a package for him. The Suns are stupid. Period. Point blank. Period.
All right, we give you 134.
They're stupid. They're dumb for trying to act like he was a bum. They're idiots. Now, it is a dumb trade because if we get Kevin Durant, and this is something you need to understand, Kevin Durant needs the perfect environment.
He needs a leader.
Yeah, I just said that he needs a leader and he needs culture.
Rob, were we talking about this?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, we were talking about this, Rob. But we said the same thing. He needs a. That's why Golden State was perfect. From the office, the office already established the culture and it embodied it in Steph, Clay, and Draymond, and then they already had that leadership taken care of.
Yeah.
So the only thing KD really needed to do was just go out there and hoop.
Just show up.
That's it. Just
and it came out of his own wealth.
Yeah, he just had to catch the ball
on several occasions.
And that literally
played basketball.
And Rob, that literally was what I was going to parlay into. he like that's really what came out of his mouth. He literally said, "I only want to play. That's it. I just want to play. I don't care about any of that extra stuff. I just want to play." That came out of his mouth. Now, if it's a lie, he told it. If it's a lie, he told it. But I think it's a dumb trade. And I will say this right now.
I would hate that for the Boston Celtics. They left one toxic person in Kyrie to go pick up his best friend.
who's just as toxic. By the way, John Suggs says KD to the Raptors, Heat, Dallas. No, and here's the thing.
Hell no, leave Luka alone.
Here's the thing. Teams are inquiring, but here's the elephant in the room that people are scared to talk about. I was talking to one of my dudes because after this happened, I texted my guy because I was like, "Ain't no way this is true." The good part about it is that it's a general vibe that this was the package that the Celtics threw at Brooklyn before they understood they made the mistake of trying to trade him. So this happened right after the finals, around the same time that Kevin Durant demanded a trade. Remember how when he first demanded a trade, the Celtics was like, "Oh yeah, here's our offer." This was basically that package.
Yeah.
Now, they haven't been in contact since because they're like, yeah, kind of take it back. The unfortunate part is it's all coming to light now.
Well,
That's the unfortunate part.
The thing is, right now, what Brooklyn has done is they're pretty much playing chicken with everybody.
Yes.
They're like, okay, this is what we want for KD. And then let's say you suffice those needs. They say, okay, I have X, Y, and Z for you. And then not only do we want X, Y, and Z, I want A and B too.
Well, then they'll call the other team and say, hey, this is what they offer. Can you beat it?
Right.
Yeah. And then not to mention, let's throw the elephant in the room. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Rudy Gobert ruined it for everybody. Rudy Gobert, they gave everything for Rudy. What did he get, $230 million?
But here's the thing. You want to know why I don't think so? You want to know why I don't think?
If Rudy Gobert got $230 million, what you think they're gonna get for KD?
You want to know the God honest truth? I don't think it would have mattered if Rudy Gobert get traded or not, because it's still Kevin Durant. So because it's Kevin Durant, it's a Kevin Durant that had just signed a deal that hasn't even started yet. You got those two things. Imagine if Luka Doncic just signed an extension and then demanded a trade. It doesn't matter what happens.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
What's wrong?
I think it's wrong. I have no problem with players' empowerment, but still, a deal is a deal, bro. Now, after you suffice that contract and you say I want to go, by all means, go.
And here's my thing.
But you ain't even played 1 year yet in the contract, bro.
And here's my only thing. Here's the only thing that I understand. Sometimes if a player's not in a situation they don't want to be in, they're gonna want to trade, right? I get that. What makes KD look bad is the length Brooklyn went to appease this man.
They done
everything he wanted. He said, "Let's bring it." He said, let's bring in Ben Simmons. Let's give him a chance. He voiced, I would like to play with him. Here's the reason they got him. Here's the reason they gave DeAndre Jordan an expired. Dude is more expired than expired milk, bro.
Yeah.
My guy was out here when I like, if he's a gallon of milk and I'm pouring on him, the sludge isn't even getting out the gallon.
He was literally on the floor because of
my guy yogurt. My guy's yogurt.
Spoiled.
Right, second part of that question.
I mean, if he goes to,
it's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
If he goes to the Celtics after going to Golden State after they got beat by Golden State, now if he goes to the Celtics after they got swept by the Celtics, he's gonna get buried even worse by the media.
I don't think so. I don't think so. He already looks bad. He already looks bad. So I think it's a dumb trade. And then you said there's a part number 2. So part number 2 was where does KD go? I don't think Kevin Durant goes anywhere. KD doesn't go anywhere.
No, Brooklyn not letting him go. Brooklyn is not letting him go.
Because not only does
why would I do that stupid shit?
No. Because at the end of the day, Kevin Durant. Because listen, this is not the final year of his deal. This is a situation. KD has 4 years on his contract. Count them. 4.
What are you going to do? Not play for 4 years?
If we're talking inches, that's 3 more than I got, right? So we're talking a lot. We're talking a lot, bro. A lot. Okay. And homeboys talking about there's a lot wrong with me, bro. But like they out here talking about, oh yeah, he got the power. What power does he have? For me, if you think KD has any power in this situation, if you own a business or are involved with any business, sell your stock now. Sell your portion now because you're an idiot.
Yeah, he has no power.
He's got zero leverage. The perception.
He doesn't give about perception.
No,
he doesn't care about fines. Because if you don't play for Brooklyn and they keep you, you're gonna get fined.
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna get their money back.
Oh, you're gonna fine the hell out of KD.
They gonna get their money back. 100%. They gonna get their money back. But here's the thing. I think Kevin Durant not only stays in Brooklyn, I think he finishes out his contract in Brooklyn. I don't think he goes. I don't think at all. Only because have you seen Brooklyn's roster?
I'm saying they're still
got a
building the
great
team
roster.
as KD's still going to be there.
Which is smart. You want to know why? Because let's say KD is not there. Doesn't matter. Because I got a win now team, and I got a solid roster. I just need maybe 2 superstars.
Yeah.
Or maybe a superstar and a star. And now look at them.
And now let's honestly talk one more point to that. Brooklyn is not trying to make the mistake they've been making these past couple of years. They gave a bad contract to Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. You see, they've depleted their roster several times. Now they've succumbed to the will of KD and Kyrie. They're not going to do it again. I'm pretty sure right now they have marching orders from the higher ups in the league to say, get control of your team back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. The control that they foolishly give it to them. And to answer your last question, what do the Celtics need to get back to the finals? Honestly, because you're saying, oh yeah, with the arrival of James Wiseman, are they going to use James Wiseman how they're using him in the summer league? No. So all they need is a solid young big that's got the legs to keep up with Steph and Clay on fast breaks and can get rebounds. That's what he's going to do. Mm-hmm. So there's really not that much of a difference. And if you look at the Celtics, what did I say? The 2 things we needed. We needed a guard who can orchestrate the offense, and then we also needed a young role-playing big man, so that way we take more pressure off of Al Horford.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
And what have we done? And what did we do this offseason?
We went and got Brogdon, and
we got Brogdon, and then we got Gallinari.
Mm-hmm.
Which
there you go.
They got Gallinari too. They went to go get my boy Gallinari.
Yeah, I would prefer it a little younger, but a stretch.
You can still stretch the floor.
A stretch floor.
Hey, you know what I say about age? The last thing that leaves a basketball player is shooting.
Yeah.
Oh, you can shoot the ball at 75. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm not.
Hey, that's true.
I'm not really concerned at all. I'm not worried. I'm not concerned because the 2 things we needed to do, we did it. We basically did what we were supposed to do. Don't trade Kevin Durant. And by the way, for all the people that are saying, "Oh my God, what about Jaylen Brown?" I was talking to my boy earlier today because I was nervous. Jaylen Brown wants to stay in Boston.
He does, but
even though all this stuff is happening,
he's hurt.
He's hurt. He's hurt, and he is upset. And I don't blame him at all for feeling like that way. Because if I was in a position, I'd be upset too. I'd be very upset. Dare I say, I'd feel disrespected. I would feel borderline disrespected. But he understands. You know what? At the end of the day, it's not. At least he could look in the mirror and say, "They didn't trade me for D'Angelo Russell."
I was on the top.
He's hurt, but he also knows at the end of the day it's business.
It's for Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
so it's Kevin freaking Durant. If you want to
it's Kevin Durant, a top 5 player. Like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm not gonna get too
right. He's a top 15 player ever.
Right. That's a conversation for.
You don't think KD top 15?
We'll have this conversation one day.
At least top 20.
We'll have this conversation one day.
Dang.
I mean, in your mind, if you got Clay, if you got Steph 10th, I'm pretty sure KD's 11th, and Clay's probably top 20. In your opinion, you probably got Draymond top 5. So I don't.
Hell no.
I don't.
Come on, Brian. Give me more credit than that. But you wilding if you don't think Steph is top 10 all time. You wilding.
Looks like a whoa, wilding, bro. That's my middle name.
You wild. You name me.
Wilding Bear Valdez, bro.
Name me 9 players better than Steph.
I'll name you 100.
Come on, bro. All right, y'all. Yeah. Hey, Jay, I appreciate you inviting me on.
All right, Rob. Goodbye, Robert. Rob, we'll have this debate one day.
Man,
hey, you know what?
I wish I had like on those shows where they had the little point counter to where I could award points and take away points and see who has the most points at the end of this. I wish I had one of those things on here. I might talk to somebody.
Oh yeah, we need a round. What was like a round of horn.
Yeah, around the bro. How much?
How much? Where you get points and stuff, man.
How much I be trolling, bro? I'm negative every episode. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm an old points. That's how much of a clown I am, bro.
Yeah, I told you.
But other than side though, like
you Pride Bayless.
Oh what? I'm worse. I'm worse. I make, bro. I'm so out of pocket, bro. I make Skip's hatred of LeBron James look logical, bro. That's how out of pocket I be, bro. That's how out of pocket I am, bro.
Skip Bayless. I love him. But he's a troll.
I love him.
Skip Bayless is definitely a troll.
I don't even think Skip really believes the things that come out of his mouth. But what I'll tell you this though, Skip gonna ride with his decision. Damian, you the dude that put Allen Iverson in your top 10. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me, bro.
Hey man, look, we're at the last topic, and then we get some final thoughts. Hey, real quick, top of the fifth, Yankees at bat, and the score is 5-3 Mets. Oh God, what a time to be alive!
Oh, the Mets beating the Yankees?
Yes,
I know Frankie somewhere pissed.
Why do you think Frankie's not in the chat room right now?
Hey, Pride, this is your chance to troll him back.
Nah, because Rob, let me just say something because these two are doing a false narrative that Pride would miss. I tell them this all the time. If you're gonna make jokes, make them funny. If they're not funny at my expense, why am I gonna pay mine to it?
Pride. Well,
I mean, and they were mad. No. Anyway, Rob, they were saying whack ass corny jokes, and meanwhile, Rob, I'm active in the other chat. Like during the time I was talking to I think it was Mike and Randy. So I'm active in that chat, and I'm looking at, and I'm reading their messages, and I'm like, whack. I was all right, but whack. Like they were like mid, so I'm like, I mean, I didn't know what they wanted from me, and they're like, oh yeah, he's missing. I'm like, well, if I'm missing, I got found relatively quickly because I'm in the other chat talking about everyone else. Rob says you put La Bum Ass over Kobe, so Damian,
he is.
Damian, yeah,
I'm sorry. I love Kobe. Kobe's my favorite player.
I hear what you're saying. We're gonna come back to that in final. I'm gonna say that for final thoughts real quick. I'm gonna get this last topic, and then we'll hit some final
go ahead.
thoughts.
My bad, Jay. Go ahead.
No. You're good. Hey, because that's what I say. Final thoughts for the free for all, for anything you got that you want to talk about. So hold on. Let me get this last topic because I really see what you have to say. Is there a team in the NL that can stop the Dodgers? Now, Rob, I know you're like me in wrestling. You know, you're getting your feet wet in baseball. But if you had to take an educational guess, who would you have that could beat the Dodgers?
Right now, the Yankees, the Astros.
No, keep it in NL. Only in the NL. We're just talking about NL right now.
Okay, I don't know.
Who can stop them from getting the World Series?
Are the Astros in the NL?
No, they're in the AL. But Rob, I'll give you the name of the teams, and you'll let me know.
All right, cool.
I'm basically only gonna go to the top two in each division. All right.
Okay.
So in the East, the Mets or Braves.
The Mets.
You got the Mets. Okay, you can say both if you think both have a chance.
I got you. Right. I got the Mets.
In the Central, the Milwaukee Brewers or the St. Louis Cardinals.
The Brewers.
Okay, and then in the West, obviously the Dodgers number two. They're number one, so I'm gonna go with the next two: the Padres and the Giants.
Neither. All right, I just got those other teams.
Okay.
That I just said. Just a guess. I don't know.
But that's the point. That's the point. It's a guess.
You know, you learned off what I was thinking, so you did. I thought you did pretty good. Brian, what you got, baby?
So, I just want to say one thing. Their run differential is insane. They're at 178. Like, that is just atrocious. That's disgusting.
Y'all better not say nothing bad about the Dodgers because Jonathan might pop back on here.
Anyway, the Dodgers aren't gonna. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Dodgers ain't doing shit. They're gonna somehow find a way to choke it and lose. So, cry about it. There are a few teams I think could actually keep up with them.
Are you saying Dodgers, the 76ers of MLB?
The Jazz, I gave up with them.
Oh,
They've been in win now for like what 8 years, and what do they have to show for it? One ring. I mean, come on now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at some point, if you're in win now for longer than I've been alive, and you only got one ring to show for it, lols, you're a joke. I mean that with all due disrespect, of course. I got the Mets, obviously. Definitely the Braves. This gonna be a hot take, and some people might get mad at me. I think the Phillies have a shot.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm not mad at you for saying that.
It's a stretch. I'll be honest. It's a stretch, and it's real hard to say that after they just got swept by the Cubs. It's real hard. Right?
Go Cubs!
But they just beat Atlanta. A come from behind win with 6-4, and they're playing Atlanta now. I think the Phillies. Here's the only caveat with that: if the Phillies play right, if they play with their heads on straight, I think they have a chance. That's maybe out of pocket. In the Central, no one. I don't have anyone in the Central has any. I mean, the Brewer. Matter of fact, remember when I called the Dodgers the Jazz? I take that back. That's Milwaukee, bro. Like, I'm sick and tired of Milwaukee always saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna win," and then just being bums. Like,
and then they do nothing.
Every it's been like that for like what the past 4 years. When they get Christian Yelich.
I lived in Wisconsin for a hot minute. I know all about them Brewers, man. They horrible garbage.
Yeah, but like they got Christian Yelich, and then that same year they were like, "Oh yeah, we're winning now." And then ever since then, they've been okay. You're solid in the regular season, but then when it comes to the playoffs, you guys are just horrible. So I don't believe in them. St. Louis Cardinals, perhaps. I also think I put that in the same category as I would put the Phillies. Sure, if you catch them on the right day with their head screwed on right, sure, but I think that's a stretch, right? I think that's a stretch. I still think the Padres have somewhat of a chance. Fernando Tatis Jr. for the first time since his surgery is taking batting practice, and him looking fine. They go. Let's say they put him in the they can somehow finesse Juan Soto and keep Fernando and Manny Machado. That'll be scary. But in terms of the NL, those like if we're talking about legit teams, Mets, Braves. I mean, again, maybe the Padres, but I think there are some teams, and I'll be honest with you, I think I have no faith in the Dodgers right now. I don't. I really don't. Even with the addition of Freddie Freeman, they've been stacked for how long? Like, let's think about this. How long have they been? You know what I mean? They've been legitimately stacked for a long time.
I would say they've been stacked since about 2017.
No, before that.
I mean, you can go a little further. I'm just kind of going back to the 17 time frame, but yeah, you can go back a little further.
Well, let's say you want to go 17, right? Right, and 17 is when they got Mookie, right?
No, they got Mookie after 17. They got Mookie. When they played the Atlanta Braves. It must have been last year. I think Mookie's only been there for like 2 years, maybe. He hasn't been there that long.
So yeah, they got him in 20. Yeah, they got him in 20.
Yeah, he hasn't been there a couple years.
So let's say from 17 to now, that's what? How long? 5 years?
Yeah.
For what's supposed to be a dominating era, in 5 years, you only have one ring to show for it. Let that sink in. And of those, and the other 4 they didn't win, they were ugly losses, hideous abomination losses, where it's like you can't even look at yourself. Type of losses, like burnouts and embarrassments. People forget last year they almost lost to the Giants in the wild card. Was it them that almost lost to the Giants? I think it went 7. Yeah, it was them, I think. So it's in 5. In 5, because I think in the wild card you only played 5 games. So it's like they almost lost to them. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Me personally, I got no faith in this Dodgers team at all. I really don't. I think will they come out of their division? Sure, because sure, but I don't. In terms of stopping them, you know who I think is going to end up stopping the Dodgers? The Dodgers.
Yeah, if they implode on themselves. Really, I think what stops the Dodgers is their pitching. Can Kershaw stay healthy all the way to the very end? I think if anything stops them, it would be their pitching.
Well, I don't even think that.
Yeah.
You still got Cody Bellinger, who's inconsistent at best this year. And even last year, too. Like
Bellinger's falling off.
Yeah, I just think if anything stops them, it won't be the offense. It'll be the defense, the pitching and stuff. I think that's what tells them.
And I will say, and by the way, people are blaming Craig Kimbrell a lot. I mean, I don't think he deserves that much of blame. In my honesty, I'm not going to blame him that much. But I will say this about Cody Bellinger. My concern with Cody Bellinger, and this is the sad part about it, he's changing his batting stance. For those people who've never played baseball before, your stance is the last thing you need to touch. First, you need to understand timing, right? You need to break down the timing, and you need to figure out what is slower. Am I not seeing the ball right? Am I not anticipating it correctly? And let's say I am anticipating correctly. When am I swinging? Do I have struggle pulling or pulling or pushing the ball? Do I have trouble trying to get it, or am I just swinging and just hoping for the best? Right. Then on top of that, when I'm making contact, what am I aiming to do with said contact? Am I trying to be like the Yankees last year and go dead 50 or dead center 450 every single time? Or am I a guy like Tony Kemp or Jose Altuve or what's his name? Kettle Martell, who are just contact hitters? What am I looking every time I touch the ball? Those are the first things you need to look. When I see a guy change his stance, and it almost seems like he changes it every single at bat, you know what that tells me? It's not a mechanical problem. It's not an IQ problem. That's a mental problem in terms of your confidence is gone. You no longer trust yourself at that plate. It's like the same thing. Like, I don't know if y'all remember this dude, Kevin Youkilis. Y'all remember him?
Yep.
You remember how he used to bat?
I do.
Y'all remember how he used to bat? That weird little thing like that? He's been in multiple struts. There's been multiple times in his career where he kind of hit a dead patch. How many times have you ever changed his stance? Never. Because that is the last resort. You don't go. Why would you change your stance when that was arguably one of the main reasons you won an MVP before you went on the skid? It's a confidence thing that's really going on with Cody Bellinger. Like, it's horrible. It's horrible, bro. What a time to be alive, bro.
Hey, Chris, what do you think about this Dodgers? Who can stop them?
I think the Mets. I really like the Mets team this year with their pitching staff. I think the Mets are going to probably come out of the National League. But other teams, I would say the Padres and the Braves. They would be probably Padres, Braves, and Mets would be my three teams I think could have a legitimate shot of beating the Dodgers. But I really do think the Mets are going to come out or going to represent the National League in the World Series this year.
Can I say one thing?
I gotta be honest with you, man. Like I said, I think my only issue with the Dodgers is their pitch. And I know Kershaw is subject to go down on injury at a moment's notice. That guy just, as great as he is, he just has an issue staying healthy throughout the entire year sometimes. And then again, Bellinger's inconsistency, things like that. I think the Dodgers are beatable. I think that the Mets have probably the best shot of anybody. I think the Braves, I kind of want to see what they do at the trade deadline. See if they bring in, anybody extra for pitching or hitting. I think the Braves are kind of like almost there, but the Braves are so weird to me, man. That's a team that, like last year, man, they go slow, they go dorm, and all of a sudden they just come out of nowhere, and then they're right in their face. So I don't ever count out the Braves right now. So I got Mets, Braves, and then I kind of like what Pride was saying about Philly. I like Schwarber and Harper and such. So I'm going to put Philly in a distant third. But right now, I think the Mets are, in my opinion, the number one team that can take out the Dodgers before they get to that World Series. So we'll see what happens. I kind of hope it is the Mets because the Astros have owned the Mets this year, so I'll be feeling good about that. But also own the Yankees.
I just want to say one thing real quick about the Mets. I hope that the Braves end up taking the lead in that division, even if it's just for a few days. And the only reason why I want to see that, I want to see what the Mets, how they react. Are they just going to kind of shrug their shoulder and go, oh, we tried. It is what it is. Are they going to end up stopping there? Or are they going to be like, nah, bro, give us that lead right back? I'm very
So you want to see the resiliency. Can they bounce back? Do they have what it takes to adapt and overcome?
Right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, if they end up I'll be honest with you, if they end up losing the lead for like a couple weeks and come back and get it and still winning the division, I think we might have to start at the bare minimum looking at the Mets as legitimate contenders, because people are still looking at them. Oh yeah, they're the Mets. I don't know, man.
No, I think they're legitimate.
I'm saying I think they are, and if they lose the lead of the division and then end up having to be able to come back, if they're able to do that, I think they're at this point you can only not think they're legit if you hate them. You know, I'm sorry.
Right. And they haven't even gotten DeGrom back. What happens if they get a healthy DeGrom back? Damn. That just adds to that pitching staff.
Yep. I think he's about to start his rehab pretty soon. His assignment.
No, he's already. He's getting close to getting cleared. He's done a couple of rehab starts already. He's not too far off.
Yeah, well.
But my thing is the reason why I kind of want the Braves is I just want a rematch. Man, I want to go back to the World Series against the Braves and just be like, okay, man, he got us last year, but we're gonna take it. I just kind of want that revenge match for me personally. But if it doesn't happen and the Mets get there, hey, I'm okay with that too. Again, it's gonna be a battle in the NL, man. I'm telling you, man.
Jay's already assuming the Astros are going to be there. He said it happened.
Hey, listen. Hey, you gotta have confidence in your team. And honestly, man, I feel good playing the Yankees, man. And I don't see the Twins doing much. Seattle, I think Seattle's gonna have to go through the Yankees. I think we're gonna have to go through probably Toronto, something like that.
I think they can't get to the Yankees. Let me just throw that out there.
Huh?
Oh, I think they the Mariners. I think they can get through New York.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, and the thing about it is Stanton's on the IL now with that Achilles strain. I'm kind of curious. Look, number one, let's look at a couple of things. Number one, Stanton's batting 228. He strikes out a hella, but he does have 26 home runs. But that Achilles strain is no joke, man. I mean, that's not too far off from a tear. A strain is basically a micro tear. So, he's not too far off. And let's say we rest him and try to bring him back. Number one, is that Achilles going to flare up again on him before he gets to postseason? No. And two, what's the chance of it tearing?
No, I don't think they're rushing him back. Only reason because they still got plenty of games to play. They have a 12 and a half game lead in terms of the AL East. So They got a pretty comfortable.
They don't have to bring him back,
which is why I think they're gonna be smart. Because again, let's say you only win the division by 2 games. If you only win the division by 2 games, guess what? That doesn't matter. As long as you win the division, that's all that matters. So, by the way, to answer
the Dodgers win the World Series, but
real quick to answer the question, Damien says, if Dodgers win the World Series, does Bow get a ring? No. In order to be there, I can't remember, but there's a certain number of games you actually have to play. You got to play and actually be an active player on the roster, not start, but an active player on the roster.
You just gotta be in the clubhouse,
right? So since this happened before the season, right?
You did.
Like the actual suspension? Yeah. Since it happened during the offseason. Yeah, since it happened before the offseason, no, he does not get a World Series ring. So.
But, and again, when I look at the Yankees, man, I see a team that is good. But I just keep seeing this injury bug. I don't know, man. I just think the injuries are going to be their downfall again. Severino's on the DL. They lost numerous pitchers to Tommy John and things like that. There's Stanton's on the IL. I don't know, man. There's a black cloud over that Yankees team when it comes to injuries, and I just feel like the injuries are going to be, in my opinion, the biggest adversary for the Yankees is the injury bug.
I just think that is like that. I don't blame him for that because honestly, that's been kind of one of their problems. The last 3 years. That's like one of the biggest concerns to them was the injuries. Not only Giancarlo Stanton, but mainly and Aaron Judge, but also their pitching. Whatever pitcher they get always ends up kind of just not being able to remain healthy.
The Blue Jays.
Let's be honest. Cortez and Cole are your only 2 real dependable pitchers. Everybody else has had some sort of time on the injury bug.
Blue Jays are starting to get hot.
Yep, yes they are.
And that's what I'm saying. Toronto, Tampa, you got to watch out for those guys because, like you said, they are hot and they can get back into it.
Yep.
What a time to be alive. All right, folks, we're going to wrap this bad boy. We're going to get into some final thoughts before Rob goes to sleep or before he gets too drunk. Hold on a minute. Final thoughts, my brother. We're going to start. And Hal is still there. I just didn't know if he fell asleep or if he were having sex Or
No,
you just got
I was trying to do your show justice and not smoke my blunt while I was on the show.
listen. Hey, listen, let me tell you something, man. Hey, it's okay. We're 420 friendly, man. If you want to smoke a damn J on this motherfucker, I don't give a damn. Smoke a J. I don't care. Frankie does it. I don't care.
I just feel disrespected you not sharing. That's all.
Hey, Pride.
That's
Pride.
my problem. That's no problem. Hey, no, man. Hey, listen, we 420
I'm still smoking on that Eastern Conference pack to this day.
Hey, Pride, by the way, before Rob starts off the final thoughts, Pride, I do need you to revamp and go get a haircut. I need a lineup.
No.
I need a fresh cut. I need something.
Nope, you don't. And you don't get it.
You said you will no longer see Santiago.
Ever.
Hey, by the way, I have found another great barber here in Hinesville, and I don't know what it is, but I have, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but the best barbershops that I have found are Dominican / Puerto Rican.
Ya tú sabes.
The one I had in Savannah, Puerto Rican. Best haircut, best lineup, best beard. I mean, just on point. Now I found one here about 5 miles up the road. Dominican, great. They do appointments, lineups, great haircuts. It's perfect. I don't know this. Amazing.
No, I've had all type of great barbers in my life. My barber's currently black though. Shout out to my boy. But one of my friends, his brother-in-law has a barbershop down there in Memphis and cuts Austin Riley's hair. I think he's a third baseman for the Braves. It's interesting. Oh, wow. But anyway, final thoughts. My final thought, definitely excited about the NFL. I think that Julio Jones move it wasn't too much of a big blockbuster, but it was enough to shake the NFL a little bit. You giving Tom Brady another weapon, and who the hell want to do that? I'm definitely excited. And the KD fiasco still continues. Hopefully, Pride Celtics can dodge that bullet, because this is the first time I think in history that people are saying we don't want a top player on our team.
Wow.
This is the first time in history that people are saying, I do not want this dude on my team.
But and this, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful to him. I understand he's an all-time great. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to him.
Hey,
but
I get it though. I get it. I get as a dude that rocks with the Warriors because of Steph Curry. I didn't want KD to come back to the Warriors. It's like, no, bro, we good, bro. Stay where you at, bro.
It's more of what you have to get. It's more of what you have to give up to get him.
Like, and that's my main concern. On any normal, you think I'm and y'all know how much I love this dude. You think I'm giving all that up for LeBron James? Thank you for coming.
LeBron not even toxic.
I don't get that toxic baggage I get with Katie. I don't get that with Bron. You really think
not toxic?
No, man, you really think I'm gonna give up all that for Bron?
That's a lot to give up.
Think about it. But that's the logic no one wants to use. That's the logic. That's the logic, because people see the name and they don't think about the ramifications. They don't think about the ramifications. That's the problem. That's the problem with these people that pretend to know what they're talking about. When you make a trade, there's something called consequences that come with it. There's consequences.
Sometimes every residual ain't a residual you want.
Thank you. Hey, listen.
That's a good point, though, Rob.
Think about it. People like to. My fault. People like to talk about religion, right? Not every pastor's a good guy. Mm-mm. Some pastors are wolf in sheep's clothing. Mm-hmm. No one's ready for that. Everyone want to talk about marriage. That girl who looked cute and looked like she handled herself, she's not wifey material. I be telling, everything that glitters ain't gold. Because if I take a poop and it glitters, you telling me you're going to take that to the pawn shop? No, that's not how it works. And we have unintelligent people who think they know what they're talking about. And Evan, this is referring to you. Unintelligent people who get upset because they say stupid, benign, unintelligent takes, and then have the surprise Pikachu face when we look you in the face and say, that's stupid, that's idiotic, that's unintelligent and uninformed. It's ridiculous and absurd. He just posted something completely dumb on the Facebook page. I read it and he made 0 points. Zero. Why? Because it's easy to be a moron who doesn't know what he's talking about and spew out stupid stuff.
My mama always said, I'm on my Shannon Sharp mode. My mama always said, common sense ain't common.
What? No. You know what my mom used to tell me? You know what mom used to always tell me? She used to always tell me, look here, don't be mad with other people. Look, in a broke world, common sense costs dollars. And some people don't got the buck. My mom used to tell me that all the time. I never knew what she meant until now.
Just not to take. Oh, my bad. Not to take away from Chris and Jay, but hey, Damien, bring them back home, baby. Let Rose come back home, baby.
Oh, you talking about this one?
Hey, I was just about to ask you that anyway. What did you think about that? So it's all
Let
good.
him come back home. He deserves to retire a Bull.
I was about to say, every Chicago Bulls fan has that same sentiment. Everyone's like, bring him back and all that.
Back. I would love to cheer for Rose one more time.
What you gonna bring him back for? A farewell tour?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You got to understand, Jay. Being from Chicago with Rose is more than just a player. He's from here.
No, I understand.
From here, like a lot of us saw him play in high school. He's from the trenches. We know his family. We know what he's done for this city. What he's done for the youth. We love to see his growth. His son growing up now playing basketball. It's beautiful, bro. Like Rose embodies Chicago. No matter how much you get put down, man. You know, a rose still grows from the concrete, baby.
Listen, I agree, and I do think it's a beautiful story for him to come back home to the roots, man. So I totally agree with you. I'm not against it at all. Chris, final thoughts, brother.
I'm not done disrespecting people.
I'm not done. Partner still finishing. What's up?
My bad, Pride.
No, I'm not done.
Get your disrespect on.
I'm not done. Rob tried to sprinkle some in there, but nah, bro. I'm here. But guess what, bro? Guess what? I'm that toxic ex you can't.
Hey, Pride say he worse than KD.
I'm worse than KG. Back before he made up with Ray Allen, mad butthurt, I'm on my demon stuff right now. Look, and I mean this with all due disrespect. The only people who are taking the Kevin Durant trade stuff serious are the same bozos who are butthurt because they can't hack it anymore in the playoffs, aka Evan when he refers to his pathetic sons.
Oh Lord Jesus!
Okay, I don't care. I said what I said and I meant it. If anyone has any problems, Evan.
This is what I understand we're talking about. Are we talking about Evan Burrow?
Yes. That's him. The same exact dude who got butthurt and cried because we told him, bro, just because your guy said it doesn't mean it's necessarily
this the dude with the sources?
With the sources when you got 15 other people debunking his source and he's saying it's all fake and smoke and mirrors, which again is completely and utterly unintelligent.
Hey, he said he got no more than one.
And now if it's a lie, he told it. If it's a lie, you told it. And if you told the lie on your man that bad,
Lord Jesus.
But as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by the panel, for anyone who thinks that this KD stuff is legit, you're a moron. And I mean that with all due disrespect. Because again, these are the same people who say KD got leverage. Got leverage. The only reason why he got some sort of, quote, leverage is because of the fact that, why? Because he's tall. In terms of this contract, he's got positively 100% no leverage whatsoever. He doesn't have anything. He's stuck. It is what it is. Get over it. Stop crying. And Evan, stick to the main point. You said 5 Tuesdays ago the trade was going to go down. Hasn't happened. And instead of addressing that point and saying, you know what, shucks, I'm wrong. What do you do? You then go and make nonsensical BS. Talk about, DeAndre Ayton. I knew DeAndre Ayton. He was going to get matched. You know who else knew that? My son. My son knew that.
Tell him how old your son is.
1. 1. He's a year old.
Hey, Chris, is you with the paper, Chris?
No, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet.
What you say, Chris?
I'm not bro. Yo, I was like, hey, yo, little homie, let me ask you something. He goes, yeah. I go, yo, DeAndre Ayton to the Lakers. He was like, no. Turned his head just like that. I was like, for real? How about to the Pistons? He was like, ah. I was like, what about Indy? What like this? I'm like, that's a year-old man right there. And you out here pretending it's breaking news. You're pretending it's breaking news. Why? To avoid the fact that you were wrong. You're an idiot. With all due disrespect, of course.
With all due disrespect.
All due disrespect. All the disrespect in the world. But I want to. But with all due disrespect, bro, I'm telling you.
Didn't he leave the group chat?
He left the group chat because the smoke was too much. He started coughing.
No, he left the group chat and then started talking mess to Mike and Pride in their inbox.
And then he put something else up on the ASAP Facebook page. I'm like, bro, you're wrong. Take your L like it's Fortnite. Move on with your life. Move on with your life.
He said,
yes, you're wrong.
Baby.
Take the L,
baby. Let it go.
Let it go, man. Let it go. You got a girl and a beautiful kid. There's more to life. You know, you took pictures and y'all was at the beach a few while ago. Go back to the beach. Go back.
I'm trying to go to the beach. I can't wait till October. I'll be in Hawaii.
Go back.
Lord Jesus.
Yes.
Hey, listen, that's the beautiful thing about Georgia. I go to the beach in October. She'll still be hot as hell.
If you're married to her, bro, renew your vibes and go on a second honeymoon. Do something. Go to Hawaii, right? Get that hate out your heart. Because that's step one. Because then you can alleviate the ignorance from your mind.
Well,
you need someone to crack
he'll see once the season starts. KD will still be with Brooklyn.
No, he won't. You want to know why? Because he's going to do what he's been doing this entire time. And instead of addressing that, he's going to go and what everyone knew about the Suns, what everyone knew, right? He's not going there, but everyone's been knowing. Instead of touching on that, the fact that he was wrong, oh, yeah, bro. See, I called DeAndre Ayton was going to come back to the Suns. Yeah, and you know who else called it? My unborn child, the nut that I shot in the toilet this morning. That's who else called it. But it's like, what are we talking about? Hell. What are we talking about, bro?
Hey, he pissed you off, huh?
No, because it's annoying. Because, bro, I'm ignoring it, but then he's subbing it. Woo! I almost said that word. Woo!
You almost went Booker T on us. Calm down. He said,
nah,
Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
Again, you know Jay and Freddie ain't monitoring this show.
That's why I stopped just in case they were monitoring it. That's why I stopped, right? But my
thing ain't monitoring this show.
And here's my thing, right? Like, my thing is like, for instance, I got a guy, right? He be feeding me stuff, right? Here's my thing though. Whenever he feeds me stuff, I don't go out and pretend that it's 100%. Because I feel like me personally, as an individual who hears it from only one source, I feel like that is lazy and irresponsible for me just to go based off of his word. Now I can listen to his word, right? And I can be like, all right, cool, let's see what's going on, whatever.
Schefter's usually on point.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if my guy tells me something, right, I need to go and make sure, you know, I trust you, but you know, like at the same time, I still gotta also make sure, because I can't go out and say it's solidified, and then next thing you know, it wasn't. And now I look like I'm. You see what I'm saying? So
let me tell you Evan's impact on the group chat, because I mean I really don't know this guy, but I just know I announced earlier as I'm watching NFL Live on ESPN. I said Julio Jones just got traded to the Buccaneers, and everybody's like, your source?
because the thing is like he does it. He's got this false narrative, and a lot of other people too have this false narrative. My source is the only right source, and it's like you say that until you're wrong.
My source is the world, Chico.
Yeah, like, you see what I'm saying? And guess what? You're wrong. You've been wrong, right? And every time you bring it up, Rob, how you stutter during text? Do what that information is. My man stuttering in text mode.
When we say Brian turn to Macho Man, you see the cream of the crop.
The cream of the crop. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, ain't no one can do it better. Because listen, when I'm down, you know what they say? Because the cream rises to the top. Oh yeah, no one can touch me. And I'm here.
Hey, you ever want to laugh? Go watch that. Oh my, I say that interview.
Yo, he put it on his head and tried to balance
interview. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Nah, you want to know what was the funniest interview I've ever seen in my entire life?
What's that?
See, normally when you're in a one-on-one match, you got a 52% chance of beating the other man. But Kurt knows he can't beat me. So in a normal match, you got 33 and a 30% chance, and I take that because Kurt knows he can't beat me. And then if me and Joe were to go one-on-one, you take half his. So then I take his, what was it, like 22 and 2/3 chance on me. And I got a 155 and 2/3 chance of winning this match.
Who the hell did this interview?
Bro.
Was that Scott Steiner?
That was Scott Steiner doing math.
Yes.
Word to my mother, when I heard that, I was like, you don't got to be a great talker to do a promo. As soon as I heard him, I was like, you don't need to be a great talker.
Hey, Scott Steiner was wild, bro.
Wild.
Scott Steiner was wild, bro.
Wild.
To this day, I still joke and play like him. I'm like, Big Papa Bumpy the hook up.
Yeah, hell, during their Hall of Fame speech, Rick kept giving them looks like, dude, you don't want to go there. Don't go there.
Bro, relax. He's like, bro, this ain't TNA where you got a live stick. You can say whatever, bro. Like, relax. Like, they're organized here. Relax.
Hey, boy, them Roy's took over that man, boy.
What? It was nuts. But listen, bro. Let me just wrap it up right here, bro.
He said, let me wrap it up.
Right here. And I who am I kidding? I love being mean. At the end of the day, no matter how upset, hurt, confused, befuddled, offended you get, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Because when you're wrong, you got to take your L. Don't change the conversation. Don't cry about it. Take your L like a champ and move on. And learn from your L, right? Learn from your L. Handle the smoke. Don't leave a group chat and then go, oh, the other trolls out there. and then talk about I'm breaking. Rob, can I ask you a question, Rob? And Chris, Jay, let me know if y'all ever heard this before. Imagine breaking news 6 months later.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
What type of foolishness is this?
No, that news is broke.
That was one of his comments. He goes, I've been breaking news and none of you guys will listen to me.
Because I'm like, bro, I'm like, the news you're breaking is common sense. Like, you're taking stuff that happened months ago and that everyone knew was happening months ago. You'll wait a week until it dies out and go, oh, yeah, by the way, my sources. Your sources who? The group chat? Shut up.
You say my source is the group chat?
Like, what in tarnation is going on, bro?
The haberdashery. What in the haberdashery and hemoglobin is going on?
To quote Rob, what in the haberdashery? Like, what? Like
he said your breaking source is ask.com.
Bro, like, no, because, like, we'll say something and someone will go, someone will go, oh, yeah, I think this will happen. And we'll all go, you know what? I don't think it'll happen, but that sounds like a good idea. A week later, my sources say, wait, hold on, time out. Wait a minute. Mike said this a week ago. What are you doing? At least tag the brother. But nah, bro. Look, now everything's that glitters gold. People are wrong. And while they're wrong and they're crying that no one takes them serious, do me a favor. When you cry, put it in a glass. Send it to me because I love drinking people's tears.
Oh. Mic drop.
Bam!
Pipe bomb.
Final thoughts, baby.
Oh, the Reds got beat again.
Just
I
imagine
here and watched the whole game. We lost 2-1. But
we lost.
Hey,
Damn.
Chris, you sounded so sad saying that.
But I am ready for football. Football's almost here, and I'm excited to see what the Colts look like. And just waiting for KD to go to Phoenix.
Nah, bro. My breaking news: KD is not going to Phoenix.
KD killed Milwaukee.
Hey, listen, I don't have a lot to add. I think Pride kind of covered a lot of it. I think Rob definitely covered a lot of it.
I mean, like, yeah, how do you follow Pride? I mean, he just went in on a guy. He's like, hey, what's your final thoughts? Well,
listen, I can always follow Pride. And I'll tell you why. And when I say what I gotta say, I will understand. He may even give me a thumbs up. Daniel will probably chime in with the Trubisky video. I don't know. But
his source is Jim Cornette.
no, hey, listen, man. Hey, listen. What time to be alive, man? Hey, top of the 7th, 5-3. Mets still on top. Frankie's probably. I don't know what Frankie's at. He's got the group chat. Frankie, we're gonna put an APB out on Frankie. Real quick. The whole thing with Pride. Look, that was a lot. Most of it was Frankie. I just kind of chimed in a little bit here and there because I was writing his coattails because I don't have a master's, nor do I have a PhD in shit talking. So I have to align myself with a mentor, okay? And I was just kind of riding the mentor wave on that.
Rob,
but anyway.
Rob, no, hold on, time out. Let me just correct some of the. That's a false statement, sir. Rob. This is how it went. Frankie said something. Jay said something. Frankie said something. Jay said something. Frankie, Jay. And the occasional me popping in like, all right, look, you guys got to do better. And then Jay, Frankie. But no, before I stopped answering, I told you, y'all got to do better. I was like, y'all got to do better.
And then
Jay, Frankie.
I'm on mentor status. Frankie, on the other hand, he's got the PhD. So Frankie, maybe, I'm just there trying to learn from the mentors. That's all.
Right, so are you guys done? Because I got to go to bed. I have to work in the morning.
Rob, they blowed up my phone. What was it, like 1 o'clock in the morning? And I'm like, dog, I gotta go to bed. Like, I had to work early in the morning. I was like, can I go to bed? Like, and they were like, no, a few more. I was like, okay. And then they kept going and like one after the other. And I'm like, yeah, done. And they were like, okay, we're done. I was like, all right. And then guess what they did, Rob? They after that, right? I tell them I'm going to bed, right? They say goodnight. Rob, they go in the other group chat to make it seem like I'm like missing. I'm like, I just told you I'm going to bed.
Like I just talked to y'all.
Yeah, I just said goodnight. Yeah, I read the message. What's going on?
Like, and then Frankie comes out of nowhere, like, where's Pride?
I'm like, where's Pride? I'm like, Pride asleep. Like Pride trying to sleep right now, and my phone was going nuts. I thought my vibrator was.
Seriously, man, how do you really handle that 25 to 28, whatever ungodly number? How do y'all handle it? I mean, that's easy. That was a pretty damn historic beat down.
No, it's easy. It's easy. How many runs did they score?
I mean, you guys got like 3 or 4. They got
not us. Them. You said like 28.
Yeah, you did 28.
And then let me ask you a question. How many wins did they get out of that one game?
Oh, they got one.
So I treat it the same way as us losing 3-2. I look at it the same way. I look. It's a horrible loss. It's an ugly loss. I think it's like 3 games in a row.
You know what I'm saying? Boston's supposed to be prideful about. It's not about how many wins or losses. It's just about the way in which you lost.
It was tough, but you're asking me how I can live with it. The only out I have, this is the only out I have. The only way I can look at my fear in the mirror. And by the way, I think Saturday I had went to my fiance took me to her mom's house, and her stepdad Eddie, he's a Yankees fan. I wore my Red Sox jersey proud. Okay, in the midst of us getting spanked.
Conversation. You in Boston, they're in Yankees.
Bro,
that had to be interesting.
No, bro, they want to get my kid like Yankee stuff. I was like, I'll divorce and I will take the kids and we'll go on the lam. We'll go on the run. I refuse it. You know what I mean? And I had it on, and I was like, I put it on and I looked in the mirror. I was like, man, it's hard to wear this. And I'm like, but you can do it. For like, you can do it. Like you can do it. And I'm like, I don't know, man. This feels. I'm talking to myself, and I'm like, I don't know, man. This feels weird. And I'm like, hey. Doesn't matter what the final score. It's only one loss. Let's move on. I was like, and I don't know why when I said that, I felt better. I felt
a personal therapy session right there in your mirror.
Jay, I said it and I felt better. I was like, all of a sudden, I'm like, I can actually look. I'll be a son of a. I can look myself in the mirror. Huh? What about that? I was like, all right. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, I feel great. I'm like, I feel great. I was like, I felt phenomenal. I felt like I could tackle the day. And then every single time I felt sad, I was like, hey, it's only one loss. You know?
But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a legitimate question. I know you're, I get the therapy that you're talking, but let me ask you, and it kind of goes along with 11 runs, one inning type of thing. And I've seen there's other places where they said, should the Red Sox sell at the deadline and just try to rebuild this all over again? I mean, I don't know if they count that they go rebuild. I don't think they sell, but at the same time, the Red Sox are a weird thing. I don't think they go rebuild, but yet, again, they're not good enough to get to the World Series. So in your opinion, where do the Red Sox go from here? What should they do?
Well, it all really depends on what are we going to do with both Devers and Xander Bogaerts. Are we going to keep them? That's really, in my opinion, where the Red Sox go from here really all comes down to what are we going to do with those two in particular. Because if you know what I mean? If we're going to end up trading them, then we have to go full-blown rebuild. Because after that, who in terms of our offense, who are we going to build around?
Yeah, you don't really have another choice.
To be honest, you know what I mean? Because then the only good bat we have in our lineup is JD Martinez, right? Then after that, it's more like, solid guys. But let's be honest, on any other team, like let's be honest, Kike Hernandez is just the energy guy, right? Alex Verdugo is a bottom six hitter, right? Like 6 to 9,
Here's the deal, right? Well, looking at a team like the Stros, like, honestly, and that's why I weigh. What's more important, having the picks or having a really good developmental system? And I'm telling you, the one thing, and I'm not trying to get the Astros horn here, but one thing I like about the Stros is they have a really good pitching developmental system, because all of our players, for the most part, are homegrown, with the exception of Odorizzi and Verlander. So my question is to the Red Sox, if you guys go to a rebuilding mode, how good is your farm system in developing, your players to take over, or do you think that they're going to have to stay in the free agency to get back to where they need to go?
Well, I think that all really depends on, are we trying to still be competitive or not? I think that's really what all comes down to, because if at this point, if we end up looking in the mirror and go, you know what, we suck. It is what it is. We're not, no matter how it looks, we're not going to be able to do anything. If we're in that type of situation, well, I can imagine us taking the Miami Marlins route, where we call up a whole bunch of youngsters, put you out there, let's see what you got, let's see who, you know what I mean, and begin that rebuilding phase. So that way, really the only reason we got the farm system is A, trade value, and B, to replace injured players, right? So that's kind of what I think we would end up doing, right? Which, again, it would suck having to go through a rebuild, but unfortunately, that's kind of the route the route it looks like we're going down, because we're not really offering Xander Bogaerts what he wants, and if whatever we paid Xander Bogaerts, we might have to pay even more to Rafael Devers, right? So, and again, we traded away Mookie Betts. Why? Because he wanted to get paid. Now, if we don't pay Xander Bogaerts, we're going to look dumb, because we traded away Mookie Betts, so that way we wouldn't have to pay him, and we can give that money to Xander Bogaerts.
Yeah, no,
so
I feel
now we would look dumb, So it's a shame, really is.
All right, folks, we're about 2:52 into the program. I'm going to end it with just a little bit of advice to you young folks out there. If you ever want to travel the international world and go see things, and more specifically, I'm going to give this towards the 18 to, let's say, 29-year-olds that are maybe going to go overseas and maybe want to go to a place like Thailand and explore your young manhood. Just remember one thing. When you're dancing with the locals out there and you're out there having a good time, and maybe things are getting a little heated on the dance floor, before you take it to a hotel or anywhere else, always check the package. I'm just going to put that out there. Just check the package. It may not be.
She met a real life Nyla Rose. What a time to be alive. What a time.
No, seriously, I will tell you from experience, and I've seen lots of my friends, now this is back to my native day, but I've seen lots of people, because a male in Thailand, they don't have Adam's apple, and they put that wig on or go, and they...
Jay.
I'm just saying, hey, listen, they can confuse you.
Chris. He said from personal experience, realize what he said and try to call it audible. Was like, yeah, my friend. Like, bro, what a time to be alive.
Hey, but I will say this. Hey, in my defense, I followed my own advice. I checked the package, and I realized it wasn't for me. Just saying. So what a time! Listen, number one, what a time to be alive. Number two, that I'm just saying, when you go overseas, it's not like the States. They are a little bit different, and that's my health tip. That's my health tip for the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will never know what you're going to hear on Unscripted.
Ever.
Full of, hey, listen, this is 50 years of knowledge in the world, and Pride's got, I think he's the youngest on the panel, so he can relate to the younger crowd. So again, I think between Pride, Rob, Gonzo, and myself, there's a lot of experiences here.
Hell yeah.
I'm just saying. And maybe, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I like this panel. It's got a very good demographic from young to old, different ethnicities. We got the Hispanic, we got the African American, we got the Dominicans, we got the white people.
Wait, who's Hispanic? Who's Hispanic here?
Chris.
I'm just from Mexico.
You're from Mexico, bro?
Mexican, I don't know. How
Wait.
Look, I'm not trying to be racist or nothing, but it's like y'all don't see the man last name is Gonzales.
No. But no, I'm just no, Bob. The reason why I was confused is because he said there's a Hispanic and a Dominican. I don't understand. Who's Chris? You're Dominican, bro?
No, I'm not Dominican.
So what are you?
Well, I said Dominican. I knew Chris.
Rob, are you the Dominican?
I don't know about me. You're right.
I wasn't sure. Hey, listen, I wasn't sure about Dominican Republic, so I said Dominican Republic to avoid that.
Real quick, Rob, can you do me a favor?
What's that?
Can you look dead in the camera without your glasses?
Oh.
No. Back up. Right there.
Oh.
El Diablo es Big Papi. It's David Ortiz.
Big Papi.
I'd love to see it.
Oh.
Hey, look. He said what? No, but for real, hey, we may just every now and again. I think I'm gonna do something every now and then. ASAP's gonna go left. We're not gonna call it. There's not gonna be a show day. It's just gonna be a panel where we just talk about stuff. Not even sports related.
Call it ASAP.
Nah, not even. You know what we gotta do? We gotta have a 2-hour show on the weekends, right? 1 hour we just talk about stuff, and then the final hour we just violate people. That's it. We gotta do what we did last Saturday. Rob, I don't know if you were here last Saturday, bro. The last 30 minutes we was just violating.
I just saw what y'all did on the morning show. Y'all violated people for real.
I regret nothing.
That was
I think Damien might have. Damien might have had the joke of the day when he told that man, "You look like a pedophile." Like when he said, "What episode?" How to catch a predator?
You was all, no cap.
Lord,
nah, listen.
And then you guys played that video. Oh my
Yo,
god!
by the way, real talk to Damien. Not only was he a great sport and all that,
he was awesome.
Pretty hard.
Damien
He was
was
a great
awesome.
sport. But like you said, Rob, Damien, you had some bangers, bro. You had some bangers, bro. That was by far the funniest thing. That literally kept it going.
I was in tears. That man said, "Which episode of How to Catch a Predator was you on?"
Hey, listen, I want to put this out there. Damien, again, please, man, make me a Mitchell Trubisky-esque video of your top 10 receivers. Private message me. Let's talk about the video, and then we're gonna make this thing go viral. Okay, we're gonna make a lot of money, and we're gonna go viral.
And then after that, I also want you to give me your actual thoughts on LeBron, bro. Give me your legitimate thoughts on LeBron. Is that Robin's big black Papa Pump?
Hey,
combination. You remember Rob? You remember Rob Dyrdek's?
Yeah, I'm big black Papa Pump.
He's like your big black combined with Scott Steiner.
You know what it is? Hey, Big Papa Pump is the hookup. Holla if you hit me.
I love it. Oh man.
Hey, listen. Hey, for real though. Hey, listen. I'm thinking maybe we're gonna do a Sunday show. We'll work out a time and when we're gonna do the show. But I think it's just gonna be the four of us. Maybe we'll bring in Frankie or whatever. Then we're just gonna have just a generalized. It's gonna be the bro talk, and bros are just gonna throw down some unfiltered crap.
He said we
just
might. Jay said we might allow Frankie.
Well, we don't know. I got to talk to Frankie. I got to see what his Sunday schedule looks like. That's why I say that. Not that we're not going to bring him in, but he works fairly time. I got to see what his schedule looks like. But
Frankie is the perfect rogue character. Because Frankie goes rogue all the time.
I want to make sure because I know he works on Monday, so I don't know what. But we'll figure it out. Hey, folks.
I'm not even I'm not even calling Frank anymore. I'm changing him to Rogue because this
Rogue.
man, he be doing his own thing so much, and it's to the point that I expect this, so I go with him. So this is where I goof up to because I go with him, and then all of a sudden, like me and him are down this road together, and we're alone, and there's like no lights, but I'm like, I got Frankie, and Frankie's like, I got Pride, so we just continue. Keep going.
He said you his oos.
Yeah, he's my ooze, 100%, bro. I don't know I don't care who am I, Jimmy or Jay. I don't care, but I'm one of them. He's the other, and whatever forbidden road we go down together, bro. We're like a bootleg AEW, bro. Instead of forbidden door, it's untraveled road. That's us, bro.
So again, we're throwing it out there. Saturday's Unscripted, 8 p.m. Eastern. We will. I'll get you guys a time frame and.
Hold on. Is it Saturday SummerSlam?
Huh?
Saturday.
I don't know. Is Saturday SummerSlam? I don't have the dates on my thing.
Yeah, isn't it this Saturday?
Yeah, SummerSlam Saturday. So is the big UFC.
Yeah, so I don't know if we'll be able to.
Maybe, you know what I think we're gonna do? I think Unscripted is gonna be unscripted, but we'll just do it as a SummerSlam show.
Because I was about to say you might want to cancel the actual show.
We had a slot on Tiki Live, so we'll just do. Saturday will be SummerSlam. Unscripted. SummerSlam unscripted. That's what Saturday's gonna be.
Yeah, we'll do that, and then because while I'm watching that, I'm gonna be watching. I'm gonna watch SummerSlam.
I was gonna say I planned on doing a watch along, so we can do whatever we can do.
Well, it don't matter. We already got the 8 o'clock time frame. Can we just combine the two shows like we did last time?
Yeah, we can. I don't care.
I'm just asking for a friend.
I'm gonna talk to you. I was going to do UFC at 10 because that's a big pay-per-view card.
What time does SummerSlam start?
I think 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Perfect. That's what time we're slotted for. So why don't we just do SummerSlam right into UFC?
Yeah, we'll do that. I don't mind.
I don't care.
Do I have your permission, babe?
All right.
Babe, do I have your permission to do a watch long on Saturday? TBD, gents.
It's all right. For right
He said,
now,
"No, Pride, you better come here, boy."
Saturday will be a watch along for SummerSlam right into UFC. So Saturday's gonna be a hell of a fight day on Unscripted, and we will also get you the time for Sunday for the Bro Talk. We're just gonna have a good time with it, man. We're just gonna maybe an hour, maybe whatever the group feels like talking, but we're just gonna talk some shit, man, about life, just life.
Go Buccaneers.
Go Bucks. Go Bucks. All right. Hey, listen, I want to thank Jonathan Mathis, who has some issues at the house with noise. That's why he had to get off. He was frustrated. So, again, thank you for coming on the show, man. Much love. Much love. Appreciate you, brother. Rob, 2 cents. I call him $1.25. You call him whatever you want, as long as it's respectful. Big shot, Rob. Prideful takes pride. Love you, man. And by the way, Rob, when is your 2 cents? When is the next episode dropping?
Oh, it's coming back as soon as NFL start back up, baby. We in here, baby. I can't wait to come back in. I got a championship celebration to do for the Golden State Warriors. My boy Steph, don't think I forgot. I'm still celebrating. I love you, Pride.
We got Prideful Takes. When's your next episode of Prideful Takes?
Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, Pride, don't be like that. I ain't even had my proper championship celebration yet.
Yeah, you did at my expense.
Hey, I want to thank Chris Gonzales with Gonzo Sports Room and all that he does. Gonzo, when's your next show coming?
Tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern.
All right, 3 p.m. Eastern, ASAP Gonzo. Is it Gonzo Sports Room or is that your betting show? We got so many.
That's the betting show.
Okay, so the betting show is tomorrow at 3 p.m. You don't want to miss that. Hey, as always, you can catch me tomorrow. I'll be on the afternoon show with Gonzo at 1 p.m. And then I'll be back on Unscripted at 7 p.m. Hey, real quick. So,
Damien funny. Pride, look what Damien said.
I'm already there. I'm already there.
Hey, listen. Hey, real quick, guys. So Logan's on vacation until Tuesday of next week. Frankie's, I think he'll be on the Saturday show, but he works on Tuesday. So it's gonna be me. Hey, Chris, who can be on Thursday? Hey, probably Rob. Can I lock you guys in for Thursday at 7?
I'll try.
Maybe.
Right?
I'm not making promises, but I'll try.
Yeah, same. I'll let you know.
I'll be here. I'll be here Thursday.
Yeah, I gotta work, so it depends on how early I can get out of there.
I feel you, brother. Hey, listen, man. I remember them days. Hey, listen, I work at the. You know what? I'm being pimped out right now. The wife done had me working at the school every day, and I ain't getting paid shit.
You are getting paid. You're getting paid with her. That's how she. That's how.
No, hey, she's worth it. I tell you, she's worth it.
That's how she looking at it.
Hey, listen. Before I get myself in trouble, Unscripted, 7 p.m. Eastern Thursday. Again, SummerSlam, UFC, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Make the shows, have fun, and until next time, man. If I can remember my shit, we'll catch you guys. Have a good one.
We go.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a place. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces.